Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
A sophomore is putting up huge volleyball numbers on the court, and what to believe or not believe when it comes to concussions. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Safety is always at the forefront of everything the MHSAA does, and concussions are always a hot topic when it comes to keeping student athletes healthy. While the MHSAA has safe play protocols in place and protocols for reporting concussions and returning to play following a concussion, there are still lots of myths about concussions. So what's fact and what's fiction? Henry Ford Health offers the truth about some common misconceptions. Myth number 1, concussions are only caused by blows to the head. Fact, while they often result from a blow to the head, they can also occur after a hit to the neck, shoulders, or anywhere else on the body. Myth number 2, concussions always involve a loss of consciousness. In fact, only a small percentage of concussions result in a loss of consciousness. Myth number 3, you should keep a person awake overnight after a concussion. Fact, if a person is acting normally after 4 hours, it's okay to let them sleep. Myth number 4, after a concussion, kids should avoid digital media until they feel better. Fact, unless digital activities or screen time worsen symptoms, there is no need to avoid them. And myth number 5, all physical activity should be avoided after a concussion. In fact, while it's important to rest for a day or two after a concussion, engaging in physical or mental activities can be beneficial. When in doubt, it's always best to seek medical attention. And for more, please be sure to check out MHSAA.com. Game balls this week go to Riverview running back Jacob Shank. He ran for 251 yards and 5 scores in a 45-35 regional title win over Dearborn Divine Child. It's Riverview's first regional title since 2017. Mason quarterback Kason Carswell, he tossed 6 touchdown passes in a 49-30 win over Trenton, moving the Bulldogs into the semifinals. And to Muskegon quarterback Mackay Guy, he ran for 3 touchdowns, including the game winner, in a 27-20 win over Zeeland West.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Sam Davis.
We're on the volleyball court today where Team A's back row setter is in the front zone near the net and jumps to try to make the team's second contact. The ball enters the plane of the net where Team A's back row setter and Team B's front row player simultaneously touch the ball above the top of the net. What's the call? Illegal block on Team A's back row setter. A back row player attempting to play a ball in the space directly above the net is considered an illegal blocker if the ball is attacked or blocked by an opponent into the back row player while reaching above the height of the net. Team B would receive a point and be next to serve.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Shelby volleyball star Navia Gothier is putting up some pretty impressive numbers this year, and she's doing it as a sophomore. Gothier helped lead Shelby to a Division III regional title and a spot in the quarterfinals, the first time Shelby has advanced to the quarters since 2017. In the regional semifinal win over Kent City, she racked up 40 kills and topped that with 47 kills in a regional final win over Grand Rapids North Point Christian. For the year, she's at 927 kills, good enough for 8th all-time on the single-season kills list. She needs just 12 kills in the quarterfinal round to move up to 4th place all-time, and again, she's doing this as a sophomore. The 47 kills in a single match is tied for the 4th most since rally scoring went into effect in 2004. Mount Morris's Sarah Tabbitt is the all-time leader in kills in a single season with 1,076 set in 2015, and Corunna's Meredith Norris has the most kills in a single game with 56, also set in 2015. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Away, a short kick that is taken at the 14-yard line with a feet offset by Tyson Mann. Shimmies over the 30, burst to speed at the 40, right sideline 50, able to get away from the tackle, walking the tightrope at the 30, 25-20, all alone, 10-5, touchdown Granville! End around give Destin Piggy. Left side has a whole bunch of space at the 30. Outside the numbers 25-20. He's got a block at the 5. Diving down towards the end zone. Touchdown, Destin Piggy. He has 6 total touchdowns. Fake handoff. Keeper left side over the 45-yard line. Outside the numbers of the 40. 35-30. Left sideline 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. 7 touchdowns for Mason McKenzie. And Caledonia has just about served this one up on ice. They pitch it right side, Cam Chandler, whole bunch of space, cuts it up, he's in! Unity Christian is the highest scoring team in the history of MHSAA football! Hello and welcome to the MGN Road to Ford Field and the final stop on the MGN Road to Ford Field before the championship weekend. It is semifinal Saturday here in the state of Michigan. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here today on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. We're in Division I for one more week here on Game Night. Last night, Cass Tech Belleville, they played a thriller. Belleville in overtime comes away and wins that. So we got to figure out who's on the other half of that Ford Field matchup. Clarkston and Caledonia. Chandler, there are so many similar storylines with how these two teams match up, from even newer coaches, the style of play they have, the championship pedigree. There's so many different things that interestingly go into this football game to find out, and we're going to see all those come to the forefront throughout this afternoon. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you start comparing these, as you said, a lot of similarities when you're talking about scheme and the way both teams like to operate here, and of course some colder weather, no snow currently, but lots of work went into preparing the field, and some cooler temperatures that I think kind of actually really both play pretty well into both the systems that they like to run. So interesting to see them play it out here on the field. Both teams have got new coaches within the last couple of years. Derek Pennington in his second year at Caledonia, Justin Pintar in his first year here on the Clarkston sideline, both taking over from Legends and Chandler. I mean, these are two teams that have got some serious state championship history as well. They've been in this game, especially in Clarkston's case, pretty recently as well. When you kind of look at, they're hungry, they want to get back to the championship picture, but these are programs that in communities that know what it's like to be here. Yeah, they sure do. For Clarkston, this is their first semifinal matchup since 2018, a game that they won, eventually lost in the state championship game. Their last state championship coming back in 2017, the game that they were able to win there. Caledonia, their first semifinal game since 2012. That was a loss to Muskegon, and their last state championship going back to 2005, and a win, of course, back in Division III as well. Yeah, and this is Caledonia's first year in Division I. That's been a storyline we've been on all year long, and especially throughout these playoffs as well. That kind of adds to that intrigue a little bit when you consider that a team, they move up to the big school football their very first year here. Coach Pennington has them just one win away from Ford Field. We've got a ton more to get to here on our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. We're going to quick step aside. We'll help you get acquainted with two of these teams with a quick little hype feature. We'll also even show you a little bit of what's coming up this winter on MGN, and we're definitely getting to the end of the football season, of course, now, and we can show you a little bit what's coming up in a few weeks and months as well. So we'll play that stuff right now. We'll be right back here. It's the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Caledonia Clarkston Division I state semifinal here from DeWitt High School. One more win. The highs of last-second playoff victories. the lows of rivalry losses. Championship history. New legacies. Mr. Football Frontrunners. Caledonia. Clarkston. Only one plays Thanksgiving weekend for a title. Find out who next on the MGN Road to Ford Field.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Recently, I read this statement. When it comes to developing intimacy remotely, sometimes it's better to be heard and not seen. That got me thinking, and I discovered that since this pandemic began, voice-only calls have increased by 78%, and the length of these calls has also increased. Today, Zoom is touted as the savior of business, academia, and keeping families connected. But there is some evidence that video apps make us feel awkward and unfulfilled. There's even an app available that rates your background when you're on Zoom. Then there's the phone, which is basically a handheld texting machine, a social networking black hole. But mouth-to-ear communication is on the rise, and it is most welcome. Like I said earlier, sometimes it's better to be heard and not seen. At Centennial Securities, we love hearing from you, even if we can't always see you. If you're a Centennial client, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Centennial Securities Company, member SIPC and FINRA.
Lob to head over the timeline to Gable. Gable straight to the basket. Elevates. Slams it down over top of Orbaugh. Oh my goodness. The tomahawk jam over top of the defender. Don't get it, Ryan. He dribbles to the corner. 15 seconds to go. Ryan, Vanderjack, up fake, launches a three. Good! Oh my goodness! He was sent down the floor, no foul call, but he hit it! 57 all, Kyler Vanderjack with 22 points. And the play of the day, the play of the year. Out to the point, Rosema into some space. Shot scores! 2-goal lead for the Bulldogs, 4 unanswered. Line given on to Titus. Titus angles, pull-up shot for the lead. Good! Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down. What a year. Thanks to everyone that tuned in all year long here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Thanks CT for all your work. Thanks to
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
And welcome back to the Bates Agency pregame show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. All right, D1 semifinal, like we said, Belleville on deck. Unbelievable game they played last night against Cass Tech for the winner of this one. Let's take a look at these two teams, Chandler. And the first storyline, of course, like we mentioned, like you saw in the last video, recent coaches, but in coming into these programs that have got the history, but also that main storyline of how similar a lot of these offensive attacks are. We utilize that term power spread so often. Teams that loaded up a little bit with a tight end, maybe with a second tight end or a wing back. A lot of inside zone running. We'll talk about the players involved in that in a minute, but first off, just tell me about these systems, both sides of the ball. A lot of similarities to how these teams want to physically push you around on a 20-degree afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Both a similar attack and what they're looking to do in the way they set up their offense. They'll run out at least 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 receivers out wide, but still utilize that power along the offensive line. As you said, using a tight end or a wing back. Both have tremendous players at those positions that they like to get, spread out the box a little bit so they can then more effectively run the football, and they both do so a little bit differently, but for the most part using the same kind of run scheme that they use, and they both run it very well. Both defenses also big up front, can stop the run. Clarkston, though, giving up around 30 points per game on the year. This Caledonia defense has been very stout all year long, and in particular, they've been very stout throughout the playoffs. That might be one point of contention before, we find so many similarities between these two teams, but defensively, a really tough schedule for Clarkston, but man, they've had some issues. Like I said, a team that gives up about 30 points per game on the year. They've had, I think, 5 games where they gave up 35-plus points or 33-plus points on the season as well. So that might be the one thing you'll watch here is what can Clarkston's defense come up with to stop the run game on the other side, and then vice versa.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the huge deciding factor in this game. When if Clarkston can slow down the Caledonia offensive attack, I think they trust the Clarkston sideline trusts their offense to put up some points, and it's a very good Caledonia defense. But I think they're a little more confident on that side of the ball. It's going to be a matter of how much can they slow down Caledonia and keep themselves in the game.
And again, can't stress enough how cold it is outside, even inside of the press box, man. I've got a coat on. You're using your hat as a hand warmer right now off screen as well. It is freezing out. I mean, it's nice in here. We've got a little bit of heat going, but outside, the wind's blowing. It's so nasty. We saw both teams warming up before the game, trying to get their pass game going, and that is not going to be, I think, the number one option for either team. So who's running the ball? A pair of Mr. Football, kind of contenders, finalists type in this game. Mason McKenzie, the senior quarterback for Caledonia, and the senior running back for Clarkston, Ethan Clark. He's Princeton bound. He is who we'll start with. I mean, he's big, he's fast, he's physical, great on those inside zone runs, very smart, able to cut it up the field. There's a reason why Clarkston's been unafraid to give this guy the ball 30, 35 times a game and let him run wild. He's the all-time leading rusher in the history of Clarkston football.
Yeah, and that's really saying something, too, for a school that's got some history and some tremendous players that have came through there. And so, they just get him the ball as much as they possibly can. As you said, in the inside zone runs, has great vision. Pretty much when you're going to be playing at the next level like that, you've got to have a complete skill set, and he does. And they're going to get him the ball as much as he can. He definitely has the ability to make some big plays at all times.
Mason McKenzie for Caledonia, just mentioned him. I mean, a guy we've watched his development from his sophomore year when he came up now to where you see him. He, of course, can throw the ball very well and takes that additional part of the defense and helps take the top off the defense. But the run game, the effortless nature McKenzie has off the read option plays to kind of weave through the secondary, make big plays happen. That's what's been so impressive. That's why you've seen him add a couple stars up to a 3-star now in recruiting as well, and why he's garnered the attention to be a Mr. Football type player this year, because that's what we've seen all year long.
Yeah, I think his numbers have really exploded, and you can see the playmaking ability. And there's been times like last week when the other team, their sole focus is to try to stop him running the football. He's and part of that zone read that is factored in is he's got to make a lot of decisions with the football as well, and he's got a running back in Brock Townsend next to him that definitely helps him out. But just his ability to change the defensive game plan when they know what that zone read is basically coming at them a high percentage of the time, and it's still hard for teams to stop because he makes it look so easy.
And we'll get to some of those other pieces that Caledonia has, because you also are looking at a couple other D1 type prospects, especially in their junior class that the Scots have. Talk about quarterback for Caledonia. How about quarterback for Clarkston? They've had really 3 different guys that have played throughout the year. Michael Hine, the primary starter. He was out last week. Looks like he's good to go again today. But it was Stephen Kosak last week. 3 of 9 passing, but 2 touchdowns, including that wild game winner as time expired as well to the corner of the end zone in Desmond Stevens. It's a team that, of course, they aren't looking to throw the ball overly much, but so you're looking to the quarterback. A guy like Hine has good legs. He can throw the ball a little bit too. You have to keep your eye on that. Who may have the ability to take the top off the defense just a little bit more, and Hine does have that ability like McKenzie.
Yeah, I think neither team is going to look to come out here and throw the ball a whole lot as the wind has really picked up and is kind of shifting directions as we speak out here. So, and you can see during the warm-ups the ball fluttering multiple different directions as depending on which way either team's going down the field. So I don't think either team's going to be looking to throw the football a whole lot, but as you said, in those crucial downs and situations, who's going to be able to find something in that playbook if they have to go to the air?
You mentioned Brock Townsend, also Derek Pennington Jr., both D1. Right now, MAC level offers for those 2 juniors. Pennington plays tight end / H-back on the offense, a terrific blocker. He can get out and receive the ball, caught a touchdown a week ago. Also a great edge rusher and outside linebacker. Both these guys play both ways. Brock Townsend, terrific running back, led the way with over 170 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week against Grand Ledge for Caledonia. Also plays safety. So 2 guys that are next level, D1, mid-major, or whatever the term is, MAC-type prospects as well. You look to those guys as the talent along with McKenzie. What can you put alongside him that can help take away? You think of the zone read game. You think of what Pennington does to block, and you think of what they do defensively. Those 2 guys are the first one that have come to mind all year long for Caledonia.
Yeah, they play together so well for this system, and Brock Townsend last week showed that when the other team's going to try to take away Mason McKenzie, he can be an elite weapon as well and put up some big numbers if they're going to focus on taking other parts of that run game away. And, of course, Pennington, they love to get him out in front of plays. Blocking does a tremendous job doing that, but they also get creative getting him involved in the offense, whether that's on some handoffs or even leaking him out in the pass game if the other team is cheating up and not respecting his ability to get down the field.
Both teams can throw the ball. They have some receiving options as well that we'll be talking about all afternoon. I mentioned Desmond Stevens, who's a 3-star receiver, a junior for Clarkston. He had the winning touchdown reception as well as a kickoff return last week in that win over Rochester Adams, so you know the kind of talent he brings. We've seen all year guys that like Graham, like Reed, taking the top off the defense for Caledonia. That's something to watch. It's cold. You don't want to throw the football, but if you get put to that point, if you're trying to develop some balance that both these teams try to find, they have a ton of talent. I didn't even get into some of the other names. Cole Church, the slot back as well. For Clarkston. They've got a lot of guys that can help spread the field, keep the defense in their nickel package as well throughout most of the day, which is interesting how they may spread the field a little bit and then zone run into that spread defense.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to back the defense off a little bit, as we already talked about. I don't think that's going to be a high volume throwing it around and down the field, but if the other team's going to dare you to do it and they're really stacking the box to stop your run game, you have to take a shot here and there, and they've got the playmakers, both teams do, on the outside that they've got some speed and some size to get down the field and try to take their chance when they can.
All right, one more quick break here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. We're getting closer to kickoff. Clarkston, Caledonia, D1 state semifinal here from DeWitt High School. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
In 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it, and move all of us forward.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timberworthy here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Scott Bates, Farmers Insurance Agency. Pregame show. All right, CT, let's go through some of the X factors in this game. We talked about Stevens and Graham as receivers for two guys definitely to look at in this game because, that's going to be the talking point. It's going to be such a run-heavy game, such a run-focused game. But guys that do have the ability to maybe help take the top off the defense so big, and these two guys are big, they're fast, they're physical, they can do a really good job of that against what are somewhat smaller secondaries on the whole.
Yeah, I think the role for both of those guys is going to be pretty similar in the game for these two teams, and they're going to try to take the top off the defense if the opportunity presents itself. Both going to try to get behind the defense if each of them are making adjustments to try to stop each other's run game. Those are going to be the two guys that you look for down the field.
Look at some of the matchups, of course. The matchup of the battle in the trenches. I mean, both teams want to run the ball. They both want to kind of zone run, get downfield as well. I mean, it's very clear where this game's going to be won or lost. It's going to be with the big guys up front.
Yeah, it is. Each team gets a little creative in the way that they try to run the ball, but as they try to make some adjustments here and get their offensive line moving, they both do a tremendous job setting up their run games and then getting creative off from that as the game rolls along.
Caledonia, your home team this afternoon, has busted through the banner and found their way to their sideline, so they're back out. They'll be joined here by Clarkston somewhat shortly as well. So you look at some of the keys to the game, I think really we're looking at the defensive side of the ball in a lot of ways. Can Caledonia come up with stops that we have seen them be able to get on the other side of things? Can Clarkston get stops that maybe they haven't been able to get down the stretch of the year? The cold weather going to add that extra factor into it as well. It's going to be really interesting to watch. Caledonia has not been afraid to lean on their defense, especially their run defense throughout points of the year. Clarkston's had some of those struggles. They've had a lot of games where they've given up 35, 40-plus points. Giving up 30 points per game on average this season. That's going to be the fascinating first look at this game.
Yeah, I think coming into it, you think Caledonia, if it's going to be a low-scoring game, their defense has shown you a little bit more that they're comfortable playing in that slow style of game. Of course, their offense has still been explosive, but they're a little bit more comfortable in that style of game. Clarkston's been more high-scoring shootout style of games, but definitely trying to find a way to slow down Caledonia and keep themselves in it.
All right, National Anthem on deck. We'll step aside. Thanks for tuning in to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. As Clarkston runs on to the field, they will get into position for that National Anthem in just a moment as well. This is it's going to be a great one. I can't wait to see who is moving on to Ford Field. They've got Belleville, which is a lot of storylines that have been surrounding that team, of course, in recent days, but they found a way to win last night, and it adds that much more to this matchup. Caledonia, Clarkston, D1, state semifinal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Welcome back to Game Night. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and the MGN Road to Ford Field. The final stop, as I mentioned a moment ago, on this MGN Road to Ford Field, DeWitt High School Division I state semifinal. The winner has got Belleville in the state championship 1 week from today. That game being played at 1 o'clock next Saturday, the biggest game in the country at that time. And we have got Clarkston and Caledonia. This one getting ready to go. Clarkston, the traveling team in scoreboard and in a uniform in this contest. They've got their traveling white top and bottom uniform, numbers in blue. And speaking of the other big game that's going on next Saturday, the helmet design is a blue and gold design that is a copy of the Michigan Wolverines classic design for Caledonia. Their home alternate steel gray top and bottom uniforms with purple numbers trimmed in white, matte purple helmet with a white stripe down the center, and the Caledonia Fighting Scot logo on either side. The Scots will be kicking it away to start this game. They'll boot it away right to left across your radio dial as Clarkston now will also line up and get ready to bring this one on back. Cole Church, the senior 5'11", 155 slot back, will be the deep man along with Desmond Stevens right here. And we are just about ready to go. Who is moving on to the state title game? Luke Vogler to send it away. Right to left across your radio dial. He'll send it away with the right leg through the ball. And it goes over the head of a leaping Cole Church into the end zone. And here comes the offense for head coach Justin Pintar and Clarkston. Quarterback Michael Hine, of course, a big story is he is set to return this week, but it all will start and it all will end with Ethan Clark, CT.
Yeah, going to see a heavy dose of Ethan Clark throughout the day. Going to give him the ball as much as they possibly can. They'll line him up in the backfield. They'll run him out of the shotgun, even sometimes running out of more power sets out of an I form or a single back formation once they get closer into the red zone, but it's all giving Ethan Clark the ball.
All right, they will start at their own 20-yard line. Hine, the quarterback. And Caledonia comes out with a three-down line in front, two standing edge rushers, right to left, tailback or a wide receiver. Church goes in motion, give to Clark over the right side of the line. He's got the 25, stiff arm over the 30, got the 35, and angles and twists his way out of bounds to the 40. First down and a hard charging run. Jimmy Floyd puts him out, but right away we see the power, we see the speed, and we see Ethan Clark a little bit in the open field as he's got it past the 40 to the 42.
Yeah, great first run for Clark and the Clarkston offense. Delayed handoff, a counter run really for Clark, able to bounce it off the right tackle and then get 20 yards plus down the field.
They'll break it out at their own 42-yard line. Right hash mark, they run to the line in the all-white uniforms. From the gun, Hine, offset left hip is Clark. Wing back off the right side of the line in a two-receiver set. Low snap is bobbled and rolls its way onto Hine. He tries to run it up to the 40, and Derek Pennington Jr. shuts him down right at the 40 for a loss of 2. So Pennington comes busting in off a botched snap. The mark will be the 39-yard line in a loss of 3, and it'll be a 2nd and 13 coming up.
And never really a chance on that one as Hine just able to get the bounce right to him, picked it up and just try to push forward as much as he could, but Pennington threw the line quickly to meet him.
All right, 11:20 to go, first quarter. No score early here. Clarkston driving the ball first at their own 39-yard line, right to left. Wide receiver in motion. They give it to him on the end around. That's Cole Jarvis, the senior. He'll break it outside the left hashes and gets past the original line of scrimmage and dives into a tackling pile to the 44-yard line. So they get a couple yards and then some back, but it's still going to be a 3rd and long. We've seen them go to the end around motion on a lot of the plays so far that time. They give it to the end around man, Jarvis, who takes it up for a 3rd and 8 to the 44-yard line. Lakeshore Sewing features West Michigan's largest selection of all things related to sewing, from new machines and machine repair to supplies and even classes to take your sewing game to the next level. They also support our Lakeshore Sewing Threading the Needle Play the Game. 3rd and 8, own 44-yard line. From the gun, 4 wide receiver spread set. Church goes in motion. He'll act as a wing back off the right side. Snap to Hine. Flush from the pocket right. He'll tuck it and he'll run, and he's leveled right back at the line of scrimmage, had absolutely nowhere to go. Carlo Ibar, the all-conference, all-region defensive tackle, levels him. It's 4th down and long, and Clarkston will punt it away.
And passing situations, the Wolves offense likes to take the quarterback rolling out to the right side, give him a chance then if nothing's down the field to try to scramble and make something happen. High not seeing anything down the field, tried to get past the line of scrimmage, but the Caledonia defense quick to close there and stop him before a gain.
Senior running back and safety Gavin Pate also will act as the punter. He stands at his own 30-yard line to boot this one on away to Brock Townsend, who stands inside his own 25 at the 24-yard line. Snap to Pate. He'll settle it down. Left-footed punt. Low twister. Bounces at the 40-yard line. Goes straight up in the air and will settle its way down to the 37, 38-yard line. Decent field position. And we'll see Coach Pennington's offense find their way onto the field for the first time in this one with 9:44 to go in the first. Michigan Sports Academies has tons of winter programming for your athlete. Whether you're looking for a weekly winter clinic or to get active over the winter break, they have it. Programming available in Grand Rapids, Norton Shores, and Holland. Come experience their quality training and top-notch facilities. Their sports include volleyball, basketball, soccer, and lacrosse. Check out MichiganSportsAcademies.com for more information. Caledonia starts right hash mark on 37-yard line with 9:44 to go. They go out of a 2-wide receiver look with a split back tailback formation. Heron offset one hip, Townsend offset the other. They give it to Heron straight up the gut into the tackling pile, and he'll push it on ahead to the 40 for a gain of 2 before he gets snowed under. Figuratively, and if the snow does pick up at some point, he may also get snowed under literally at some point in time on this afternoon. So 9.5 to go, gain of 3 up to the 40-yard line, and a power look right away. 2 receivers and 2 tailbacks.
Yeah, it's a look we saw them run a couple times last week early on in the game, especially get 2 backs in the shotgun formation there, give another look that the play could be going either way as they've got options with Heron and both Townsend in the backfield.
Same look, split back shotgun. Again, it's a fake give this time to Heron. Quarterback keeper left side McKenzie chops the feet over the 40 and gets twisted down by a trio or even 4 Wolves over the 40 to the 41-yard line. McKenzie lost his helmet in the bottom of the tackling pile as well. It's 3rd and 9 coming up right here. And because he lost that helmet, McKenzie going to have to return to the sideline. Brody Betzer, the sophomore, along with Jet King, ready to come in. We'll see who Coach Pennington's going to go with for this one play. And they're going to go the spread look right here. It's going to be Jet King to play quarterback. So we saw King at the end of the Granville game after McKenzie had some injuries. He'll step back in. 8.5 to go. 3rd and 6 from their own 41-yard line. McKenzie, as his helmet came off, has to go back to the sideline. 3 receivers set for King from the gun. King, give to Brock Townsend, cuts it up over the 40, burst of speed past the 45, and dives for the first down to the 48-yard line. He got it 1 yard past what he needed to. A quick shifty run. He cut it upfield and gets the first down as, of course, Townsend finds a way to do.
That Caledonia offense making it work, back quarterback in there. They keep it on the ground, and Townsend, nice vision to cut back to the middle of the field. Wasn't going to be able to stretch it around the end, and instead able to find a lane through the middle and get just enough for the conversion.
Townsend came up with 16 total touchdowns during the regular season. Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Toledo among the teams that have given him offers, and they'll hand it off to Townsend again up the gut, straight up the middle over the 50, and dives into the tackling power to the 47-yard line. Clay Smacka, the senior outside linebacker and safety on the tackle. Mark will be the 46-yard line even. Desmond Stevens also in on the tackle, and the gain of 6 makes it a 2nd and 4 with 7:37 and less to go here from the 47. Caledonia into enemy territory for the first time in this game, and they'll break it out. Home alternate gray uniforms, all gray uniform with a purple helmet from the pistol. 2 or 3 wide receiver set with 2 right. Snap to McKenzie, give to Townsend, faked, read option keeper over the 45, broke a tackle to the 40, and pushes the pile down to the 36-yard line. Stevens on the tackle, and a chain-moving tough run from Mason McKenzie, giving the shoulder and picking up the first down.
That's a situation where the Clarkston defense had the players in the right position. On the end, there was a man waiting for McKenzie to keep it there, and McKenzie just ran him over at the line of scrimmage and able to then get another first down.
In enemy territory, 1st and 10, a right hash mark, 37-yard line. We tick under 7 minutes to go in the Division I state semifinal. Clarkston tied with Caledonia. Caledonia gives it right side, outside the right numbers to Townsend. Stutter step back to the line of scrimmage. He'll get 1 more yard past that original line of scrimmage before he is shoved out of bounds. Kavanaugh Dighton, the inside linebacker linebacker, the all-time leading tackler in Clarkston history on that stop, a guy that's in the state champs Anvil Award finalist. He has been an unbelievable threat in the middle of this defense for years. As I mentioned, the all-time leading tackler in the history of this very, very football-rich program. 2nd and 9, Caledonia from the Clarkston 36-yard line. 6:50 to go, clock stop, first quarter, no score. Mason McKenzie works from the pistol, right hash mark, 2 receivers right. They isolate Graham to the right side. Tailback is Brock Townsend. Single wing back left side. Give to Townsend, faked. Read option keeper. And McKenzie dives over the 35 to the 34-yard line. Dighton again on the tackle along with Smeka, and that makes it a 3rd down and long. Mark will be right at the 35-yard line. That makes it 3rd and 8.
Yeah, the Wolves are crashing in hard from the edges. McKenzie decided to keep it there on the read, but didn't have an option to go outside again, so forced to end up running up the middle, essentially in the same spot as if he had handed the ball off.
Cold afternoon, to say the least. Right hash mark, they'll go to work, 3rd and 8 from the 35. Offset, left hip, Townsend. From the gun, it's McKenzie. 3 receivers set. Fake give, drop to pass. Pressure coming off the edge. McKenzie, flush from the pocket, tucks it down over the 35, pushing his way past the 30. He's got the first down and angles out of bounds to the 24-yard line. What an escape act by Mason McKenzie to get out of there on the short side of the field and pick up the first down.
Yeah, McKenzie was dropping back to pass, and just immediately multiple defenders in his face, scrambling for his life, rolling out to the right, still trying to find something down the field, but was running out of room and barely tight-roping along the sideline, but able to make something out of a lot of pressure in the backfield early.
Another 3rd down conversion for Caledonia, and the ball is up to the 23-yard line on the mark. Derek Pennington, with a little bit of an injury, going to come back to the sideline right here. Theron Sanders will fill in his place at H-back. 6:02 to go, first quarter. 1st and 10, Caledonia up to the Clarkston 23-yard line. They're driving in those steel gray uniforms. They go split back formation. Heron to the left hip, Townsend to the right hip of McKenzie. 2 wide receivers. Snap to McKenzie, give to Heron the power back over the 20. Burst of speed over the 15 and pushes his way down right there into the pile. Good gain on 1st down. Blake Heron getting a lot of touches early in this game. He's got some power. He's got some speed. Just one more look out of this Caledonia backfield. He gets 9 yards right there at 2nd and 1.
Yeah, I like the options that brings to this Caledonia offense when you've got another back like there and here and a guy who's does multiple things for this offense, that they can line him up in different positions and keep the offense in a good spot.
So Caledonia pounding their way down the field. Back to the split back formation. 15-yard line from the gun. McKenzie with a fake throw. Gave it on to Townsend. Cuts up the middle. Has the first down and gets upended to the 11-yard line. Twisted down from behind. I think again Smockin on the tackle along with Colin Courtman, the junior. First down, Caledonia, but there are flags down on the field. We'll have to wait to see what those flags are going to be. 5:25 in the first. No score. And a potential 1st and 10. We'll see what's coming up here for Caledonia.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Wolves, be a half the distance.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Wolves, half the distance to the goal line, and that'll bring Caledonia inside the 10. We've got our first and goal of the football game, CT, with 5:25 in this first quarter. A chance for Caledonia to pound it in and get the first score of the state semifinal on the board. They'll break it out. McKenzie from the gun. Townsend left hip, 3 receivers set. 1st and goal from the 6. Snap to McKenzie. End around give to Sanders. Blown up, and he'll turn the corner to the 5-yard line. Had nowhere to go. Dylan Hunter, the big senior defensive end and defensive tackle, was all over that play. And Caledonia lucky that they got positive movement at all. The entire defense was in the backfield at the mesh point.
Yeah, one of those plays that takes a little bit of time to develop is they get the lead blocker who they utilize and run behind so much. They reverse the field and get him a touch going the opposite direction. For the Caledonia offensive line, tough to block, though, as that's going to allow time for the defensive line to get in there.
Pennington back in there for Sanders. 2nd and goal from the 5. 3 receivers set, give, faked, read option, keeper left. McKenzie racing to the corner of the defense, spinning his way down towards the goal line. Mark is going to be the one. He got upended again. Smaka in on a tackle right at the goal line. It looked like he was going to have a chance to twist his way in, but a whole host of Wolves tacklers were able to engulf him right at the 1-yard line. That makes it 3rd and goal from the 1 for Caledonia. 4:19 and less to go first quarter. No score early. We'll see if Caledonia from even inside the 1-yard line is going to be able to pound this one in. They'll go to work left hash mark. Back to the split back shotgun formation. Heron offset left hip. Townsend offset right hip of McKenzie. Give to Townsend. Up the gut. 2nd effort into the end zone. Touchdown Caledonia. 3:59 in the first, and the Scots have the first lead of the state semifinal.
Exactly the drive the Scots were looking for to open up the game. Kept the ball pretty much exclusively on the ground. They dropped back to pass a couple times, but ended up still running it and just able to drive down the field, keep the Janes moving, and score on their first possession.
Brock Townsend had a pair of touchdowns last week for this offense. He finds his first of the game right here. An offense that's averaging 40.2 points per game on the season. They do it through power. Luke Vogler will add the extra point. Mason McKenzie to hold for the Scots in this early lead here. High snap, held down McKenzie. Right leg through the ball, and that one will angle its way through the uprights and good. 7-0 Caledonia over Clarkston with 3:59 to go in the first quarter. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame have remembered some of the greatest Grand Rapids sporting events and athletes from the last 50 years and have voted for our favorites in online polls. This fun trip down memory lane will culminate on December 16 at Van Andel Arena during the Grand Rapids Griffins game. We will reveal our winners and celebrate 50 years of the best of Grand Rapids sports. Join the Hall of Fame celebration during this special night of hockey. Also, this week's Family Fair Tailgate Special of the Week is very fitting for this time of year, of course, says it again is the best price in town on turkeys is at Family Fair at only 53 cents per pound. So check out all the specials at shopfamilyfair.com. Thanks, of course, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency. Centennial Securities are presenting sponsors here at Game Night. You see them rotating on screen if this is your first time tuning in to a game night on Michigan Sports Radio broadcast. A lot of other great games, of course, also going on across the Michigan Sports Radio Network. 3:59 to go, first quarter. And the early lead for Caledonia. They'll send it away right to left across the radio dial right here. Again, Vogler gets ready to send it away, but not before he puts the ball back on the tee after it fell off the first time. Back to receive for Clarkston. Standing left side, Desmond Stevens. Standing right side, Cole Church. They are both back at their own 1-yard line. Caledonia brings a man in to hold as well here. With the ball on the tee, and Vogler will send it away. Number 40 in gray, Vogler. Right leg through the ball. High, twisting kick right up the right side of the field, taken inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. It's a handoff, fumbled back at the 9-yard line, and fallen on by Clarkston. They went with a little end-around handoff right there, and the ball wound up being fumbled by Colin Cortman on the handoff from Church. He falls on it at the 9-yard line, and now already down a score. Clarkston will have to start deep inside their own territory and go 90-plus yards here.
Yeah, trying to get fancy on the return there, and as the handoff stuck right in the chest there, but just not a secure handoff. And the return team there and end up falling on the ground. And then, of course, as soon as the knee hits the ground, the play blown dead.
All right, they will go to work. Clarkston will from their own 9-yard line. 1st and 10 right here. From the gun, Hine, snap, give. Clark up the middle, angling over left guard, and he'll get over the 10 to maybe the 11-yard line. Tackle made from behind by big Jackson Engelberg, the 240-pound junior. You look at Engelberg, Ibar up front. Tyler Bird, Jet King coming off the edge. This defense is big, and they're tough, and they're physical to run against. They'll give them the 12-yard line, 2nd and 7, with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 early lead for Caledonia. 3 wide receiver set from the gun. Hine with Clark offset to his right hip. Snap to the senior quarterback, give to the senior tailback. Clark, he'll break it out left side, gets shut down right as he turned the corner back at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to go turning the corner. Tyler Bird helps shut him down along with the edge rusher Blake Heron, and it's a 3rd and long right back where they were.
And after a 22-yard run on his first touch, Clark now bottled up twice. The defensive line able to hold their ground and take away any cutback lanes as well.
All right, Michael Hine, who missed last week against Rochester Adams, may have to throw the ball for the first time right here. They go 4 wide receiver set with trips right. 3rd and 7 from their own 12-yard line. Clark goes in motion right side. Snap to Hine. He looks to pass. Now he'll tuck it down and run up the middle. Broke a tackle over the 15-yard line. Diving past the 20 to the 21. He's got the first down. An elusive run. Engelberg coming out to range for the tackle, but a nice run right there by Hine. There was pressure in the backfield right away. He turned it straight upfield and finds the first down to keep the Wolves' drive alive. 2:40 in the first.
Yeah, they motion Clark out of the backfield. The defense is thinking that way. And then a quarterback draw for Hine, who finds a lane up the middle and converts.
They'll break it out. 1st and 10 on 21-yard line. We tick under 2:30 to go first quarter. Early 7-0 lead. Tight formation with trips receivers right along the left side of the line. Snap to Hine. Give to Clark. He'll then hand it off to Stevens on the end around, who is shut down in the backfield with nowhere to go. Coming off the edge, Derek Pennington Jr. on the tackle. They got tricky with it. They gave it to Clark. They gave it to Stevens then on the end around, but Derek Pennington Jr. had it right all the way. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12, back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Pennington on top of being an extremely physical player, also very smart on the outside there. Knows that
coach's son, you can tell.
Yeah, exactly. That's the cliche there, but it plays true. I mean, it definitely held his ground there and able to make the play.
Empty backfield, 5-receiver set. They motion Clark into the backfield, hand it to him on the run up the gut over the 20-yard line, broke past the first wave of tacklers and dives to the 24-yard line before Theron Sanders shuts him down. It'll be a 3rd and long coming up right here after the run to Clark. So Clarkston given a lot of different looks right now. They have a 3rd and 6 coming up right here, but for the most part, it's all been shut down by this tough Caledonia inside of the defense.
Yeah, I think definitely respecting the Caledonia defense, having to try to give some different looks and mixing things up.
Hine has gone to the sideline, and Steven Kozak, the hero of last week's game for Clarkston, now in at quarterback. They go 4 wide receiver set, 3rd and 6. And a penalty marker comes in from the sideline. It's a false start on Clarkston. So that'll back them up to 3rd and 11 with 1:09 to go in the first quarter. Interesting, though, as they bring Kozak in. I didn't see if there's an injury or what the deal may have been with Hine, but now Kozak, the 6-foot senior quarterback, going to have to run the offense one more time as he did so effectively last week en route to beating Rochester Adams.
Yeah, it was already going to be difficult if they're going to try to put the ball in the air there on 3rd down, but after the false start, backs them up 3rd and 11.
4 receiver set from the gun, 2 to either side out wide. Kozak with the hands in the hand warmer behind his back. Now he'll come into position. Here's the snap to Kozak. Drop to pass. Pressure coming. High jump pass is broken up at the line of scrimmage and nearly intercepted. At first, Caledonia was thinking that Carlo Ibar did pick it off, but it is dropped into the inside of the defense. And 4th down will bring the Clarkston punt unit back on one more time. 48.4 first quarter, 7-0 Caledonia, and they're getting the ball back. I don't think Coach Paddington could have drawn up this game much better so far, CT.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Caledonia. That Clarkston trying to get a little screen pass floated up over the top, but Ibar read it all the way, able to jump and at least get a hand on it.
Gavin Pate to punt it away again. He stands at his own 5. At the helmet, got the snap, nearly blocked away. Left foot through the ball. Short punt bounces at the plus 40-yard line and tumbles even the wrong direction ahead to the 39. So Caledonia, already the lead, will get to start at the Clarkston 39-yard line on this drive, CT. 41.3 seconds to go first quarter. And a real chance for, on this cold, tough day, to go up 2 scores and really make your point known if you're Caledonia. They're trying to send not just a statement in this game, but I think they're kind of sending a general statement early as well, possibly, with this game.
Yeah, for sure. An opportunity to do that is the offense scoring on their first possession, the defense a couple strong stands and able to stop the physical run game of Clarkston here, now looking to capitalize again on a short field.
3 receiver set, left hash mark. McKenzie from the gun with a fake throw, hands off to Townsend, rumbles up the gut to the 35-yard line, got shut down from behind. Again, Clay Smaka, who's been all over the place making tackles from outside linebacker, gets that stop, but a gain of 4 on first down. We tick under 30 seconds to go. 2nd and 6, up to the 35-yard line. McKenzie has a call in from the sideline. They'll break it out, and it looks like they'll try to run one more play before the end of this quarter. From the gun, Townsend offset left hip. They'll go 4 receiver set as they split Pennington out as a slot receiver left. 12 seconds to go. Snap to McKenzie. Drop to pass. Thrown left side on the screen. Caught 35-yard line by Graham. He'll turn it up into a tackling pile ahead of the 33-yard line. Dighton makes the stop. It'll be 3rd down and short, and that will end the first quarter. Zeros across the scoreboard after 1, except for 1-7. 7-0 Caledonia over Clarkston. A 3rd down coming up for Caledonia as they'll switch sides, and we'll be right back.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. MGN Road to Ford Field here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Second quarter of the Division I state semifinal game. 3rd and 4 coming up for Caledonia from the Clarkston 33-yard line. They have a 7-0 lead early in this one, CT, and a big moment right here on third down. They have gotten a couple third down conversions already, and one more can keep them moving towards a 2-score lead.
Yeah, I think the way they've been running the football here and with the wind conditions today, not a bad idea to keep it on the ground here, even if they don't convert in a situation here in a spot on the field where they'd likely be going for it on 4th down as well.
Just a swirling, tough, cold, windy day. 3rd and 4, 33-yard line. 3 receivers set from the gun, left to right. Reed goes in motion. They fake it to him on the end around. Kept up the gut by McKenzie. Shut down in the backfield with nowhere to go. He'll dive back with forward progress to the line of scrimmage. Brady back, the sophomore strong safety, makes the stop. And now it's 4th down and short. They will go for it here from the 33-yard line, but that play blown up on the end around keeper.
Yeah, bringing the man in motion there. Potential or for the possibility to go end around, but McKenzie keeps it. Whether that's a read or whether that's a designed keeper there, the interior defensive line for the Wolves able to bring down McKenzie and give themselves a chance on 4th.
Now a big chance for Clarkston to get a stop. 4th and 4 from the Clarkston 33-yard line. 7-0 lead early second quarter. Snap to McKenzie. Straight drop to pass. Has some time. Flushed from the pocket right with pressure on. He'll tuck it down outside the numbers at the 40. Made a man miss over the 35. Dives ahead to the 30. And he'll be 1 yard short of the first down. Dighton is down. Kavanaugh Dighton injured at the end of that play. He is writhing in some pain down on the field as he got awkwardly caught up. So the leading tackler in the history of Clarkston football down on the field at the end of that play. But it is going to be Clarkston football. They did not quite get enough. Caledonia did not. Official timeout now down on the field as they continue to have a look here at Dighton, who is definitely in a lot of pain.
Yeah, tough to see that for the Clarkston defensive leader out there, but the Wolves defense able to get a stop. McKenzie had some time in the pocket, didn't see anything down the field, ended up trying to escape right. Cut it up, was running towards the sideline and was not going to make the first down marker. Had to cut it back upfield, and that's where the contact right around the area where Dighton was there. They did bring McKenzie down just short of the line to gain.
With basketball season around the corner, make sure you do check out all of the boys and girls schedules on MichiganSportsRadio.com. Of course, if you're with us in the pregame show, you saw a bit of a look at what's coming up this winter on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Dighton back to his feet with an applause will find his way back to the sideline. He not having help to stay on his feet, so he's walking off under his own power, just a little ginger. So now Clarkston gets to take back over. 7-0 early lead here for Caledonia in this one. Clarkston's got to go 70 yards, starting at their own 30-yard line. And again, it's going to be Kosak getting ready to run the offense. So we saw Hine the first kind of drive and a half. Kosak's taking over after, and they'll spread the field 5 wide to start right here with Clark as a slot receiver to the left side. So Kosak from the gun, 1st and 10, empty backfield from the shotgun. 3 down front on the other side. Kosak brings Clark in motion left to right. They give it to him on the end around. Clark outside the right numbers at the 30. Broke a tackle over the 31 and pushes down to the 32-yard line. Jet King stands over top of him, along with a few more Scotts there and Sanders on the tackle. A gain of about 3 yards on first down as they run another end around give to Ethan Clark. They're trying to get him going outside the numbers right now, Chandler. They just haven't had too much success doing so.
Yeah, they've tried running him on the inside zone a couple times, but the Caledonia defense able to stop that initially. So now lining him up in the slot, bringing him in motion, try to get him a little bit momentum headed towards the sideline from the snap.
3 receivers set on 2nd and 7, tight end to the left side. Snap to Kosak, give to Clark, up the gut, has a burst of speed over the 40. He's got the 45-yard line, over the 50, in enemy territory, 35-30. Burst of speed over the 30 and dives down to the late tackle made to the 25-yard line. Ethan Clark busting free downfield for the first time. A shoestring tackle at the 25, the only thing that stops him, and Caledonia now on their back feet defensively.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is the end-around look like that to get the defense to line up and respect the possibility that that's coming. That's going to open up the inside zone that they love to run a little bit more, and you see the big play there immediately.
1st and 10 mark is the 23-yard line into Caledonia territory. 10 minutes to go, second quarter, 7-0 Caledonia lead. Kosak from the shotgun. 2 receivers tight off the left side of the line. 2 more spread all the way out wide out of a 4 wide receiver set. Kosak give to Clark. Left side has a hole over the 20 and dives ahead to the 19-yard line. Leg twisting tackle made by Blake Heron to the 19 and gain a 4 on first down for Clark, who's just chugging his way down the field as you would expect to see the Princeton commit doing. 9:49 in the first half in the second quarter.
Against the Wolves.
But it's coming back. Penalty, looks like a holding against the Wolves. Going to pull that on back. Coach Pintar on the field is not happy, to say the least, with the call. But the ball goes outside the 25-yard line now, and that takes away that run. And it's now 1st and 15 back to the 23.
Yeah, it looked like down the field, it was further down, not right at the initial line of scrimmage where the penalty flag thrown in. See, now it looks like leaving it at second down, so the run is going to stand in the flag after the play.
Okay, so it will be 2nd and 15 still here from the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, Michael Hine still having some issues. I can see him trying to warm up on the sideline, working his lower body. 3 receivers set from the shotgun. 2nd and 15, Clarkston. And it looks like Caledonia was able to get them to jump on the front line. Caledonia changed their entire defensive front, and the offensive line jumps early for Clarkston, and that's 5 more yards taken away. This will make it 2nd down and 20 now for the Wolves, shooting themselves in the foot after driving into the red zone.
Yep. Back it up now. The Caledonia defensive line, something we saw them do against Granville earlier in the season, they'll shift up the front. I think something they do to try to mess up the opposing team's run game and throw off the timing a little bit as they throw that defensive line shift in, and then the right side of the Clarkston offensive line responding to that in a false start.
2 receivers left, 1 right, out of the shotgun. Kosak from the gun. 2nd and 20, backed up to the 33-yard line. Snap to Kosak, give up the gut to Clark, breaking a tackle over the 30, and gets stood up by a trio of defenders to the 29-yard line and shoved down outside the numbers. Blake Heron made the first contact. It's going to be 3rd down and very long coming up here from just inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. It'll be the 28 on the official mark. 8:55 to go. And we've got an official timeout that's going to cut the air here because we've got a difference in scoreboard versus sideline marker. It says 2nd down on the sideline marker, says 3rd down on the scoreboard. They're going to have to discuss this, and it goes back to that penalty from a few snaps ago as well, as you were astutely able to pick out when that penalty may have been called and what down we actually have got right here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly when the miscommunication came in. At first, the chains along the side there was keeping it at 2nd down, and scoreboard was going back to 1st, and then I think we were flip-flopping, trying to adjust to each other and trying to get on the same page.
And it's going to be 2nd down. So it is 2nd and 15 at the 28-yard line. 3 receivers set. They put the right man in motion, Cole Jarvis. They'll hand it to him on the end around. Left side Jarvis cuts up over the 30, twisted down. What a tackle made by Maddox Greenfield, the junior, to shoot him on down at the 29-yard line, right back along the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and long. That's a heck of a tackle by Greenfield, because if he turned the corner, there's a little bit of space to run.
Yeah, you love to see that in the open field from your secondary player there. Greenfield able to come up, recognize the run, and make the tackle on a shifty runner.
All right, so now 3rd and 15, right back at that line, or that last line of scrimmage at the 28-yard line. Kosak from the gun, 3 receivers set, 2 receivers right, and a tight end right with the ball on the left hash mark. Clark offset left hip, snap to Kosak, give to Clark, faked read option keeper left side, and cut down at the line of scrimmage. Theron Sanders shutting him down right away with some help from Tyler Bird. It's 4th down, and they'll give him 1 yard to the 27-14.
Yeah, right read initially from Kosak. There was a lot of open field to the left side, but Theron Sanders, they're able to stay home along the line of scrimmage and bring him down. Now, after not getting really anything on 3rd down, forces a 4th and very long, but as of right now, Clarkston going to leave the offense out there.
Yeah, I mean, this, the high school game in particular, really kind of no man's land. 7.5 to go in the first half. 7-0 Caledonia, 4th and 14. Both teams have driven in enemy territory and have been faced with 4th and longs. 4 wide receivers set, Kosak, number 7 and white from the shotgun. Snap to the senior. Stands in the pocket, fires deep, right side, looking for the end zone. It's well overthrown. Only Caledonia had a chance on the Jimmy Floyd dive to get it. He could not get that ball. Kosak just kind of put it somewhere where no one could get it, and it's going to be Caledonia football at their own 27. So both teams, Chandler, drive right to the outside of the red zone of their opponent and wind up coming away with nothing. We remain 7-0 as we go into the final 7 minutes of this first half.
outside of the lone Caledonia scoring drives, turned into more of the grinded out run game style that we expected. Neither offense has been able to punch it in after the Caledonia touchdown.
Caledonia split back shotgun. Tailbacks are Heron and Townsend. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Brock Townsend over left guard. Shoving a pile down to the 29-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go right after that. See, Kavanaugh Dighton is back out there, help make that tackler one of the Wolves that were fighting over top of him. Bowman, the junior, the one that's credited the tackle off the edge, but good to see Dighton right back there on the field. Gain of 3 to the 30-yard line makes it 2nd and 7 here for Caledonia with 6:45 in the second quarter. It's a 7-0 Scott lead right now in this game. They'll break it out one more time. In between the hashes wearing their home alternate gray uniforms. Back to that split back shotgun formation. Wing off the right side. Delayed give on to Heron. He made a man miss and stutter steps over the 40 and falls diving ahead to the 44-yard line. Jarvis the tackle. First down Caledonia. Delayed give and a nice angling, twisting run gets the first down for Blake Heron.
I think they've found a nice other option out of the backfield in here and getting him some touches. He stumbled just a little bit going through the second level of the defense. Otherwise, he might have had a chance to turn that into an even bigger play, but just lost some momentum as he was stumbling.
Same look, 2 wide receivers, 1 to either side. Wing back off the left side, split back shotgun. Give to Heron up the gut over the 45 and pushes the pile in enemy territory to the 49-yard line. Like it was Bowman that just got a piece of him to bring him down, but another good run. Gain about 6, make it 7 on first down in enemy territory. 2nd and 3 coming up as it's Blake Heron right now, chunking the way down the field for Caledonia. They've got a 7-0 lead. They'll break it out. Right hash mark just in enemy territory at the 49. Same look, 2 receivers, 2 tailbacks. H-back off the left side. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Heron. Nearly lost the football on the exchange. He'll regather it and push into a pile to the 47-yard line for a gain of a couple in the 3rd and short, but nearly a dangerous play right there as Heron nearly fumbled and had some issues settling down that football off the handoff. The mark will actually be the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, sometimes with the colder weather, and even a handoff can become a little bit more difficult as you start to lose some feeling in your hands if you start to get cold. I've seen a couple handoffs that have been dropped here. That one held on to by Heron, but something to keep an eye on as this game goes along as well.
5 minutes to go. Same formation. H-back left, split back shotgun. Snap to McKenzie. Fake give. He'll take it up the middle. McKenzie pushing the power to the 45. He's got the first down. Needed 1 yard, or needed 2 yards. He got 3. So McKenzie moves the chains right on the number to the 45-yard line. We took under 4:50 to go in the second quarter. So Caledonia just grinding it away right now. Coach Pennington just sticking with the same formation, the same concepts out of the split-back shotgun formation that he feels pretty comfortable utilizing right now. They go to work, same look. This time they put H-back Pennington offset to the right side of the line. Townsend, the tailback to the right. They give it to the left tailback, Heron. He'll cut it up at the 45-yard line. Man-to-man missed over the 40. Pulling a defender with him to the 40, or the 35-yard line. Right on the marker. That should move the chains. Cole Jarvis, the free safety on the tackle. And right on the number, a 10-yard rush, moves the chains to the 35-yard line.
Another impressive run from Heron, who's actually now the leading rusher for the Scots coming into this game. Probably not what you would have expected, but he's gotten some opportunities, and as the defense tries to take away McKenzie and Townsend, that's left some room for Heron.
1st and 10, Clarkston 35-yard line, split back shotgun, H back to the left side, snap to McKenzie, give to Heron, up the gut, hand in the back of the defender, over the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Back to the tackle from behind, pulling on his legs, and another good run. Blake Heron unstoppable up the gut right now. Dylan Hunter, the senior defensive tackle, is down, holding his arm on the field for Clarkston. They've had some injuries inside right now. Tough physical game. Both teams getting beat up a little bit on the inside, and Hunter limply holding that right arm right now on the field. 3:57 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 Caledonia. And with Hunter on the field, we'll take this chance to quick step aside and be right back.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Welcome back. Snap to McKenzie, taking up the gut on a quarterback dive over the 30-yard line. He stutter steps his way over the 30, the 28-yard line, but nowhere to go as the inside of the defense. Kavanaugh Dighton shuts him down. Originally, even Clarkston was maybe pointing that the ball had come free at the end of the play, but it will stay with Caledonia. So the Scots have got a 3rd and 3 from the opponent 28-yard line. 3:18 and less to go, second quarter. 7-0 lead for the Scots right now. McKenzie back to work out of the shotgun. Heron offset to his left hip. Townsend offset to his right hip. Snap, give, Heron up the gut. Has the first down. Burst of speed, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Caledonia. Big hole up the gut. Blake Heron races to the end zone, and the Scots have got a 13-0 lead with 3 minutes to go in the second.
It's been quite the day for Blake Heron early on. The leading rusher for the Scots finds the end zone there, a 28-yard touchdown run. The middle of the defense just completely opening up as they're so keyed in on both McKenzie and Townsend that Heron continues to run all over him.
All right, Vogler looking to add the extra point right here. Mason McKenzie to hold. Had some issues on special team snaps, remember, throughout the first couple weeks of these playoffs. Snap to McKenzie, settled down as he snagged it. Kick is nearly blocked off the right foot of Vogler. The kick will tumble its way through the uprights, and good. All right, 3:02 to go, second quarter, now 14-0 Caledonia. We'll be right back here from DeWitt High School.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. 3:02 on the second quarter clock. Now 14-0 Caledonia. The Scots using a split back shotgun power running attack. Blow their way down the field. Blake Heron finds his way into the end zone as Vogler sends one away into the teeth of the wind left to right. It spins out of bounds on him as that thing almost stopped midair at the 35-yard line. The chilly wind certainly picking up right there on that kick, and that's going to give away some good field position as the flags come out and the ball angles out of bounds.
Yeah, hard to tell what the intent of that kick was as the wind just took it. I think it was trying to get it to that left side, but then the wind just pushed it and ended up spinning the wrong direction and going to give the Clarkston offense some better starting field position.
Cold afternoon here. I think we've mentioned that enough times, but again, you're looking at 20, 25 degrees. The wind chill that goes well below that as well. It is a tough day to play football, but it's exactly what these two teams you would think kind of want to see as well, Chandler, but hasn't quite been the case for Clarkston so far. They've gotten some movement on that last drive. They wound up coming away with nothing. They're now down 2 scores. Steven Kosak back on the field to run the offense. He'll run them out to the line of scrimmage and go under center. Power set. Give to Clark. He'll run it outside the right numbers at the 40 and dives out of bounds there with a tackle from behind from the chasing sophomore safety, Reed Vogler. They ran it up to the line of scrimmage, went power single back set, and they get a decent gain on first down up to the 35-yard line of about 4. It'll be 4 yards, yes, and a 2nd and 6.
Adjustment from the Clarkston offense. Put some big bodies along that offensive line and try to match the physicality that the Caledonia D-line has been playing with, trying to create some separation, but now back to the shotgun.
2nd and 6, 39-yard line. Back here to the gun. 3 receiver set, snap to Kosak, give Up the gut to Clark, twisted down in the backfield. Derek Pennington Jr. was in the backfield at the mesh point, twists him down. It's 3rd down and medium, 3rd and 5. They gave him 1 yard up to the 40-yard line. Again, it's Pennington, it's Theron Sanders, it's these edge rushers right now just busting free into the backfield and taking away any ability to get around the outside on any of the inside or outside zone runs.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys in the high school game that are going to be able to wrap Clark up around the shoulders and just drag him to the ground, but Scott's defense has 2 of them, and both Pennington and Sanders that have done so today.
Wind picking up before this 3rd and 5 play. Wing back off the left side of the line. Single wide receiver look, give to Clark out of the shotgun. He'll bowl over the 45-yard line, push his way down to the 50 for a 1st down. Brock Townsend the tackle. That was an angry run from Ethan Clark right there to pick up the 1st down right to midfield at the 50.
Yeah, sure was. He turned it up the field and lowered the shoulder, ran through a couple defenders, running with a purpose on that one.
They go up-tempo again, back to the wing back off the right side, single receiver shotgun look. Tailback Clark to the left hip of Kosak. Snap to Kosak, give to Clark. He'll run it right side, running along the sideline, and it's broken up in the backfield. Vogler, the sophomore safety, taking out his legs at the 46-yard line, and it's 2nd down and long in the backfield. The mark even going to be the 45-yard line, a loss of 5. They ran it straight horizontally along the sideline, and Vogler, the terrific sophomore safety, had it read, and the Caledonia crowd comes to their feet on a frenzy. 1:37 to go. Clarkston runs it out to the line of scrimmage. Late 2nd quarter, they trail 14-0. Back to a 3 wide receiver shotgun set. 3 down front on the other side for Caledonia. Snap to Kosak, give to Ethan Clark. Up the gut, being chased down by Pennington from behind. Ran in at the line of scrimmage to Heron. 2 more of his friends helped shut him down. Who else? Reed Vogler on it as well. Maybe a gain of a yard or 2 up to the 47-yard line, but a 3rd down and very long 3rd and 13. This tackling defense has been something else right now, the way that they are ranging the ball and taking out probably the best running back in Michigan.
Yeah, that 1st down tackle, that was incredible. Vogler able to come up and in the backfield, make a shoestring tackle there, just taking out the legs of Clark. 2nd down, more of a team effort there, able to wrap him up after Clark broke free from 1.
3 receiver set, isolated receiver left. 3rd and 13 from their own 47-yard line. Snap high to Kozak at the helmet. He'll settle it down. Clutches, looking to fire. Throws it over the middle. And it is broken up and nearly intercepted as well by Caledonia. Blake Heron was all over it. It's 4th down and 14. And here comes the punt unit again. Another stop forced by this Caledonia defense, who are making a statement on semifinal Saturday.
Yeah, not only are they throwing a shutout right now, they've also been very close to a couple turnovers. There's been a couple passes down the field that have been within inches of being interceptions. But I'm sure the Scots will take the punt and the possession right here.
All right, once again, Gavin Pate to send this one on away. Caledonia does not have a deep man back to receive yet, and Coach Pintar is going to call a timeout. 38.2 on the clock in the 2nd quarter. 14-0 will stay with you through this break. Of course, thanks to the Scott Bates Farms Insurance Agency, Centennial Securities. Want to quick give them a shout out. You see them on screen all day long. Our presenting sponsors here with Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. All right, CT, we'll even welcome everyone inside here, the press box at DeWitt High School. We had a lot of questions coming into this game, talking about strength of schedule, talking about what to expect, 2 teams that do similar things. The first half has been a statement and then some from the Scots.
Yeah, it has. I mean, I think you've seen the best from both sides of the ball so far for Caledonia. The offense showing their ability to run the ball, even though they're not getting the huge plays down the field like we've seen occasionally. The fact that they can continue to make chunk plays in the run game and work their way down the field. Stalled out only once, but a couple touchdown drives surrounding it. So good for them offensively, and the defense has stayed strong as well, playing very physical, taking out one of the most physical running backs in the state of Michigan and doing so in style.
All right, now Clarkston comes back on. They'll get ready once again with Pate to boot it away. Once again, Caledonia will not have a deep man back to return right here. The high free safety is Brock Townsend. Pate stands at his own 31-yard line to send it away. He wears number 27. Gets a low snap, sends it away left foot, nearly blocked away by the outstretched right arm of Tyler Bird. Twisting punt over the 25-yard line, angles out of bounds to the 21. Caledonia's got 30.6 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Of course, you don't want to turn the ball over, but also we haven't really seen them throw the ball at all. Actually, they have not thrown the ball yet on their only design passing play. McKenzie kept it. We'll maybe see what sort of shots down the field Coach Pennington has in mind, or if maybe he will decide just to put this game in his back pocket and take it away in the halftime with a 2-score lead.
Yeah, they went all out for the block there on the return, not even trying to bring that one back at all, trying to get themselves in good, better field position. I think you see what you can draw up here, but no need to get too crazy as you've got a 2-score lead, and I think you'll take that into halftime.
Yeah, they'll go 2 receivers, split back shotgun, wing back Pennington off the right side, and the snap and the kneel. They will take it into halftime. So Caledonia, Clarkston each run to their respective sidelines. And we have a halftime score, 14-0. Caledonia been all over this football game in a physical, tough, cold contest. And we will welcome you in now to our Centennial Securities halftime show. All right, CT, just talk about the impressive statement they're making. I mean, I'll talk about the play of Blake Heron, though, first, because he's been the second running back. He's had some games where he has had a chance to step in for Brock Townsend when Townsend's had some injuries and has definitely shown his ability. Right now, state semifinal game, he is answering with one heck of a running performance, has the touchdown. He's their leading rusher as well, just grinding his way away.
Yeah, I mean, the way they've been able to get him involved has been impressive, and he's made some big plays off from it. They showed some of those formations where you see him in the backfield last week and kind of got away from it as that game was going Caledonia's way towards the end. Now they bring it right back out here early on, running some more power, getting another running back in there, and give some more versatility to that offense, and he's responded.
Ethan Clark, Clarkston run game has been, for the most part, outside of one big broken play, pretty much non-existent. We've got plenty to talk about coming up on this Centennial Securities halftime show about some of the details in that, but sometimes football comes down, especially in the run game, to ranging, to making tackles, to making plays. This Caledonia defense, the safeties, the linebackers, the guys up front, they are ranging to the ball. They're making great one-on-one tackles, and you're going up against one of the best running backs this state has ever seen, frankly, in Clark. He's been that impressive the last few years of his career, and especially this year, becoming the all-time leading rusher in a very football-rich school in Clarkston history. But Caledonia just getting to the football, gang tackling, solo tackles. It's been so impressive to watch the way they've gotten around the Clark run game.
Yeah, it's been a complete effort from that entire unit, the way that it takes really the entire defense to stop a run game like that. You've seen some guys in the secondary come up and make some impressive tackles. Of course, the physical nature of that defensive line and some of the size that they've got coming off the edges is going to help a lot. I mean, Clark's still just under 100 yards, but he's pretty much been the only offense, and for the kind of numbers he's been putting up, the Caledonia defense is going to take that and a shutout in the first half all day.
Amazing he even has that many yards, and of course a couple big plays that helped lead to that, but it just kind of shows where he can grind his way. He's such an angry runner. I don't think we've seen the last of Ethan Clark, certainly in this one. All right, 14-0, Caledonia over Clarkston at the half, and we've got a lot more to break down here on the Centennial Securities halftime show, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here from DeWitt High School.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches and state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
AHC Hospitality is hiring for several open positions at its downtown hotels. Starting pay is $16 an hour paid weekly with medical, dental, health benefits, hotel discounts, and more. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, restaurant, and management roles at our 5 premier downtown hotels. Visit ahcjobs.com to jumpstart your career at one of 5 world-class hotels in downtown Grand Rapids, including the Amway Grand Plaza and the JW Marriott Grand Rapids. Again, visit ahcjobs.com.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are...
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, welcome back. Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. All right, 14-0 Caledonia at the half. We'll go over scoring recap, which is a short one, and we'll go over some stats as well from the first half of play. First quarter, 3:59 remaining. Brock Townsend, 1-yard touchdown run. Vogler added the extra point, 7-0 Caledonia. And then about one full quarter later, a little over a quarter later, 3:02 to go in the second. Blake Heron, a 28-yard driving touchdown run. Extra point again from Vogler, good, 14-0. That's your halftime score, and the stats can really help peek into this game a little bit more and how Caledonia has been dominantly able to take that two-score shutout so far into the locker room.
Yeah, we'll start with the Caledonia side. They did complete one pass. McKenzie connected with Graham for 2 yards. Otherwise, it's been all on the ground. McKenzie, 32 rushing yards. Townsend, 25. Heron, the leading rusher, with 78 in that touchdown you just mentioned. And Sanders had a carry for a yard as well. Over to the Clarkston side of things, it was all Ethan Clark, 98 yards on 13 carries, 66 of those coming on 2 carries, 1 of 22 and 1 of 44, so that's where most of that damage came in there. Hine, 3 carries for 6 yards before he left early on in the first quarter or second quarter there. Jarvis, 5 rushing yards. Stevens had 1 carry for a -2, and Kosak had 1 carry for no gain.
Let's talk a little bit about the pace of this game. Obviously, grinding game. Caledonia has gotten 3 chances with the football. They've scored on, 2 of them, drove in enemy territory once as well. I think that's kind of the critical thing of how this game's going is it's been a slow football game, in terms of both teams not getting many possessions, taking long drives, the clock going quickly when I say it's a slow football game. So from that perspective, that puts Clarkston on a bit of the back foot right now because they have not been able to stop Caledonia. Caledonia has been driving the ball pretty effortlessly so far, and there aren't many possessions left. So Clarkston's going to have to start by getting some stops right here to be able to turn the tide in this game because both teams taking their time getting it up the field. And if they want to try to win this game even 21-14 type, it's going to have to happen quickly in terms of the stops that you're getting.
Yeah, I think the pressure turns up a little bit in a game like this where, you don't have a ton of chances at it, especially when you find yourself down a couple scores at halftime. But, the pressure was kind of on the Clarkston defense from the start. We talked about how they were going to need to respond and come up with their best performance of the season. And so far, they stalled out Caledonia on 1 drive. But other than that, it's been a couple long possessions for Caledonia down the field, able to score and get in the end zone on both of those. So they're going to need to try to find some sort of answer, specifically to Heron and what he's brought to this run game, but going to need to try to force some stops and get the ball back for their offense.
We'll have plenty to talk about in terms of getting to the X's and O's and the adjustments to look at halftime. The pass game, though, for Clarkston, we haven't seen him flash it too much. Kosak took 1 deep shot that was kind of well overthrown and really wasn't in there. When they have thrown the ball, they've had some dangerous looks. But right now, schematically, Caledonia has been willing to kind of sell out on the run game a little bit. We've seen Vogler blitz the run quite often as well, leaving maybe just 1 high safety back there in pass protection, or in pass coverage, I should say. So I believe the pass game options for Clarkston might be there. The question is, can they hit guys like Stevens? They haven't even given some of these big targets like a Desmond Stevens a real look at the football. The looks are there, but do you maybe trust the quarterback to make the plays? That might be where a little bit of the issue has been so far. Plus, you don't want to take it out of Ethan Clark's hands.
Yeah, I think early on you know what you have in Ethan Clark, and the weather conditions being what they are, you try to run with your strength there and see what happens. But I think the more this game goes along and the less that's being effective, the more you're going to be pushed into having to take some shots down the field where, you might have some difficulties doing so with the weather being what they are and having a backup quarterback in there as well. But I think out of necessity, you're going to have to try to take some shots down the field just to try to add that element to your offense.
Clarkston, a team that is not a stranger to close games, not a stranger to comebacks and tough wins. Even, last week, I guess they had to make one of the dying moments of that game. So a lot more to break down here on the Centennial Securities halftime show. We'll step aside one more time. 14-0 Caledonia leads Clarkston at the half. Of course, make sure you check out the other games on Michigan Sports Radio that are going on the Listen Live tab as well. This afternoon, a lot of great wins from across the area. Again, if Caledonia wins, we'll be going with the Scots to Ford Field. If they don't win, I don't know if we're covering a game next week. You can follow us on social media, which, of course, by the way, let's bring that up while you're at it. Twitter, Facebook, also Instagram now. You can follow at MI Game Night for what's going on with CT and myself here on the Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio crew, and live broadcast, scores, schedules, recaps, so much more. MichiganSportsRadio.com. All right, we'll step aside one more time here on the Centennial Securities halftime show. When we come back, we'll break it down and we'll start to look towards that second half and what some of the keys to this second half may be coming on up.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
What could be better than a thick, crispy, cheesy to the edge Detroit-style pizza? How about the best Detroit-style pizza? You won't find it in a hut, and it definitely doesn't come from a focus group or a committee. Nope. Because the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet only comes from Detroit, and it's made by Jets. Jets Detroit-style pizza. Better because it has to be.
Let's take a look. As I mentioned over the phone, wear and tear.
Oh man, they're never gonna buy this thing. Wear and tear? Well, there's the coffee stain on the seat. It needs new brakes. All four wheels squeak. The passenger door doesn't even have a handle. Not to mention that one time I went to my uncle's farm and backed up into a truck full of shit.
Should about cover it. You're all set.
Oh.
Don't overthink it. Seller to Weller.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our buffet your way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. 14-0. Caledonia over Clarkston in the Division I state semifinal. Winner has Belleville next week at Ford Field. Let's get into it now. We're kind of continuing on the warm-ups right now. Second half keys. Caledonia gets the ball to start. I think Coach Pennington's team would love to do a lot of the same. Clarkston, Coach Pintar, they're going to have to find some differences in what to expect to see. What are some of the things you're going to probably be looking at out of these two teams in the second half?
Yeah, I think right away is the first thing we're going to see is what Clarkston's defense going to do to try to respond to what Caledonia's been able to do in the run game, and with Heron in there as well. If they're going to have to try to stack the box even further and bring some more pressure and try to stop that run game, it's going to leave them potentially vulnerable to shots down the field. But with the weather and as we've talked about at length, you maybe take your chances there and just sell out completely to try to stop the running game for Caledonia. And offensively, they've got to get a little creative as well. I think their offense, their bread and butter, that's been so successful all season long. Caledonia's been able to bottle them up for the most part. We saw them bring Clark and line him out in the slot and then bring him in motion a couple different times, just trying to give a different look. And whether that's Clark or whether that's some of their other slot receivers and guys on the outside, give them some motion and some different formations. But I'm probably still not deviating too far from giving Clark the ball a lot.
Yeah, across Michigan Sports Radio, by the way, South Christian up 20-0 over Edwardsburg. Gladwin leads Catholic Central 28-14 in that Division 5 game. Dexter up 7-0 over Forest Central, of course. Our game 14-0, and then West Catholic up over Clinton 12-0. So a lot of close games. And the Grand Rapids Catholic Central Gladwin game in particular, that is a really interesting storyline developing in that one. That Gladwin Flying G's team just continues to find a way to win, and going up against, of course, the real monster Division 5 the last few years in Grand Rapids Catholic Central. All right, so Caledonia gets the ball to start the second half right here. They're in their home steel gray uniforms. Put it on the scoreboard. We're in their home steel gray uniforms, unless you all just want to watch us call the game for the second half. But they're in their home steel gray uniforms. Purple helmets, top and bottom are in steel gray. Numbers in purple, trimmed in white. Traveling white uniforms, top and bottom for Clarkston. Numbers are in blue. The helmets in the style of the Michigan Wolverines in blue and gold. All right. We are just about ready to go with the second half for the first time today. Clarkston's going to have to kick the ball away, as they didn't have a chance to do that, as they were shut out in the first half of this one. A lot to get to, a lot of storylines all developing. The MGN Road to Ford Field. This is the final stop on the MGN Road to Ford Field before Ford Field. Next week, we'll see who is taking on Belleville in the Big School Championship, the Division I Championship next week. Saturday, 1 p.m. the kickoff in that game. Who's going? Caledonia. It's their first year in Division I. They were last state champions in 2005. They last made it to a state semifinal in 2012. Of course, this Clarkston team have stacked championships and championship games in the last few years, but both teams with new coaching staffs that have come in the last either this season or last 2 years have added so much intrigue to this game. Clarkston will be booting the ball away left to right across your radio dial as Caledonia gets ready to return. They've got a couple of short returners. Reed stands at the 20 to the right, and to the left side is Jimmy Floyd, both at the 20-yard line. So not going deep on the return right here are Coach Pennington and Caledonia. 12 fresh minutes up on the board. Thanks for tuning into the Centennial Securities halftime show, and we are just about ready to go with the second half of play. Edward Langton, the junior, will send it away for Clarkston to start the second 2 quarters of this one. As I said, he'll boot it away left to right across the radio dial. Langton, ball on the tee. Floyd and Reed back inside the 15-yard line. Now the ball falls off the tee, in case you forgot about the wind that still is whipping this afternoon. I just quick left the booth momentarily at halftime as well. It is very cold. It is whipping. It is getting worse, I would say, in a lot of ways, even out there right now. Langton, ball back on the tee. He won't have anyone in to hold it like Caledonia had to do earlier. 12 minutes up on the board. Third quarter underway. Langton, right leg through the ball. It's an onside high kick. It's initially handled by Caledonia. It bounces high in the air, and then the Scots fall on it in plus territory. Tyler Bird on the hands team elevates, secures the football, and Caledonia gets plus field position, starting position, as they get ready to try to go up 3 scores. 11:58 third quarter, and Mason McKenzie back on the field for Coach Pennington.
Yeah, the Clarkston coaching staff deciding to take a shot right there, take a risk, try to swing some momentum in their way. Instead, Caledonia able to come up with it. The first man went off the hands, and then the ball ended up shooting straight up into the air, but the Scots able to come down on it and start on their other side of the 50.
4 wide receivers set. Pennington motions to the left wing. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend. Faked. Option keeper. McKenzie broke a tackle. Now twisted down in the backfield for a loss of nearly 10 yards. Desmond Stevens, the junior, on the tackle. And it's a loss of 8 or 9 in the backfield. McKenzie tried to make one play happen. He wound up losing 3 more yards. It's 2nd and 18 now. Back to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, McKinney was in the backfield right away. McKenzie barely able to spin out of there, but then some help from the rest of that Clarkston defense able to wrap him up, and a statement there on the first play of the second half that this Clarkston defense is looking to respond.
That actually make it 2nd and 19, I should say, as they were at the 49. So now Caledonia backed up, 11:24 to go. We'll see what they can get operating. They went back to that more spread look on their first play of the second half. They'll go back to it once again. Wing back off the left side, 3 receiver set, ball in between the hashes. Townsend, the tailback, right hip of McKenzie. They'll fake it to him. Read option keeper, right side. Big hole over the 45. Broke a tackle, 50. McKenzie angles 45-40. Outside the left numbers, 30-yard line, and twisted down by Stevens to the 29. First down, McKenzie. He gets everything back and then some, and the Scots are inside the Clarkston 30-yard line. Mason McKenzie does it again right there.
Yeah, I see the highs and lows of the Caledonia offense right there. First play going backwards for a big loss. I think Clarkston's got a chance to get off the field relatively quickly here, and then Mason McKenzie right back to the runs we've seen him make all season long, where he's weaving down the field, making guys miss, running through arm tackles, and picking up a big first down.
First minute gone, second half, 14-0 Caledonia. They've got a 1st and 10 on the left hash mark, up to the Clarkston 29-yard line. 3 receivers set from the gun, snap to McKenzie, give to Townsend, up the gut, broke a tackle, races his way over the 25, and dives ahead to the 22-yard line. Adam Denver, the junior, corner on the tackle. A gain of about 7 on first down. It is 7 on first down. Hard charging run from Townsend, breaking tackles up the gut. A little bit more of the traditional Caledonia look right here with a 3 receiver set and an H-back. McKenzie in from the sideline with the call. Caledonia, the alternate home uniforms, the gray uniforms they've been wearing all playoffs long. They go to work. 2nd and 3 from the Clarkston 22-yard line. They go back, split back, shotgun formation, give to Heron up the gut, pushing his way into the pile. He's got the first down and shoves the pile down to the 17, 18-yard line. Able to move the change with a driving run. Dylan Hunter as part of the tackling pile, along with Nick Wysenko in the middle of the Clarkston defense. So another first down. The mark is the 18-yard line as Caledonia drives their way up the field. 9:50 and less to go, third quarter. McKenzie breaks out the offense. Left hash mark, 18-yard line. They lead by 2 scores already. Back to the split back shotgun. Tailback to the left hip is Heron. Right hip is Townsend. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend. Angles over left side. Cuts it up the middle down to the 15-yard line and drives that pile. Mark will be the 16-yard line. Gain of 2 or 3 on first down. Smacka back on the tackle, coming in from the secondary to make that stop. But a kind of quick handoff run. They go back to that split back look again right now, Chandler.
Yeah, I'm getting both Heron and Townsend involved now. We saw more of Heron towards the end of the first half. Not as much of Townsend, but now a couple carries for Townsend on this possession already.
Same look, split back shotgun, 2nd and 7 from the 16-yard line. Give to Townsend, big hole up the middle, cuts it up over the 10, and gets brought down by his shoelaces, diving down to the 7-yard line. I think it was Clay Smacka, the senior again, that just got a piece of him. Otherwise, Townsend was home free. 1st and goal, Caledonia from the 7, under 9 minutes to go.
Another drive the Caledonia sideline has to be loving so far now in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. Looking to punch it in with a couple chances here.
3rd quarter, 1st and goal from the 7. Left hash mark, Caledonia breaks it out. 2 wide receiver look with 1 spread either side. Split back shotgun formation. Snap, give, Heron faked, read option keeper, blown up in the backfield. Desmond Stevens came in off the edge. Mason McKenzie was putting the stutter steps on, but had nowhere to go. As along with Stevens, Cole Jarvis was right away in his face. That'll be a loss of a couple yards and a 2nd down and long goal coming up right here outside the 10. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 12 for Caledonia. 8:15 to go, 3rd quarter. They lead at 14-0.
The Clarkston defense making a play on 1st down again, backing up, stopping McKenzie in the backfield. Last time McKenzie responded with a long run. Right after that, we'll see what the Wolves defense is able to do now on 2nd.
DeHorn comes back in for Heron. 3 receiver set along with Reed and Graham. McKenzie from the shotgun. Pennington, the wing off the left side. McKenzie, fake give, whistles down. And a false start coming to Caledonia. So that now makes it 2nd and goal from the 17 for the Scots. 7:52 to go. And this is where Coach Pennington's playbook is continuing to shrink on options. Still 2nd down, up 2 scores. So you also kind of wonder if you're looking at 4-down territory, but likely just want to try to get that 3rd score on the board. We'll see what they may trust Luke Vogler's leg to try to do. But again, you got to get 17 yards here on 2nd down and goal.
You'll see they have completed 1 pass so far, throwing with the wind. The way it currently stands, it's kind of been all over the place, but more with the wind than against it going down the field.
Left hash mark, see a little bit of snow that's starting to fall as well. 3 wide receivers set from the gun. Snap to McKenzie, fake give, drop to pass, thrown over the middle. Pennington all alone, caught at the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, Caledonia. Derek Pennington Jr. ranging into the open field all alone, and McKenzie able to find him with a strike. It's 20-0. Caledonia with 7.5 in the 3rd.
That's what makes Pennington so dangerous. He does such a great job, essentially as an extra lineman sometimes in there, creating some space for really everyone that runs in the backfield for the Scots. But then the second you start thinking you don't have to respect his ability to run with the football or catch it, that's when they sneak him out, seam route right down the field and a touchdown.
All right, McKenzie to hold. Vogler looking to add the extra point here for the Scots. Snap down, right leg through the ball. Low angling, twisting kick finds its way through the left upright and good. 21-0 Caledonia. 7.5 in the 3rd. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you from DeWitt High School. It's all Caledonia. McKenzie finds Pennington on a strike on 2nd down goal and long. They're into the end zone one more time. It's 21-0 with 7.5 in the 3rd quarter. Right to left, Luke Vogler gets ready to send this away to a pair of deep men, Stevens and Church. Back to receive. Vogler right leg through the ball. Low driving, twisting kick that finds its way through the back of the end zone with the help from the wind that Chandler mentioned a moment ago. And Clarkston gets ready to go back to work. It's been all Scots. And for the first time this half, we're going to get to see Ethan Clark in this offense, but they got to find something real quick. Now down 3 scores, and they've had almost no movement outside of Ethan Clark's couple big runs.
Yeah, going to need to find something now, is down 2 scores at halftime, now 3 after the Caledonia offense able to get in the end zone once again. But we'll see what kind of creativity they come up with. It's been a little bit more in their nature to mix up their looks throughout the course of the season, more so than probably Caledonia, but going to need to find something right now.
First question for Coach Pintar, who will be quarterback. It remains the backup, Steven Kosak. Wing moves from the right to the left side of the line. Give to Ethan Clark. He'll follow that wing back over the 25-yard line, left side, breaking outside the hashes to the 30 and diving ahead to the 33-yard line. It was Ibar even helping range to make the stop, but a first down, Ethan Clark. He is so quick. When he makes up his mind, when he cuts through the hole, he's big, he's tough to bring down, yes, but also it's the speed in the open field, and he drives his way ahead to the 32-yard line. Clarkston working quickly right here. Single wide receiver right. They load up the line with the wing off the left side. Clark, offset left hip of Kosak. Caledonia brings 3 down linemen. They show some extra pressure. Give to Clark. Handoff, right side. Working along the right sideline. Brought down to the backfield again. The sophomore Reed Vogler. A loss of 4 or 5 yards inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Every time we've seen Clark running horizontally, you wind up seeing Reed Vogler, the sophomore, on the blitz in the backfield.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of teams in the state that Clark can do that, and he's got the skill set to outrun a lot of people, but this Caledonia defense has been tremendous coming up and playing the run, making some stops in the backfield. And Reed Vogler, a couple of amazing tackles. You think he's just trying to bounce Clark even further outside, but he gets the tackle himself, able to bring him down from the ankles.
They go back single wide receiver, and a whistle is down as they're motioning towards the Caledonia sideline initially. They've got to get Jace Lawton now late on the field, so an interesting late substitution there from Caledonia. 6:23 and less to go. 2nd and 14. Back single wide receiver. Wing back tight end on the line. Snap to Kosak. Give to Clark. Cuts up the middle. Nowhere to go. Jace Lawton fresh on the field, and Theron Sanders shut him down at the 30-yard line. Gain of 2. It's 2nd down and 12. You know, it's a smaller secondary, too, in terms of total size for Caledonia, but they're so good tackling. We have seen them hit a new level in this game right now. I mean, to see this rushing attack, the way that they have shut it down entirely right now in this game, especially starting out this second half, really impressive. 3rd and 12 from their own 30-yard line. Back to a one wide receiver look out of the shotgun. Single man all the way out wide to the left is Church. Wing moves across the line. Snap to Kosak on 3rd and long. Give to Clark. Running left side. Able to just evade. Jet King at the 30. Turn it up over the 35. Has the 40. Diving down to the 42-yard line. He's got the first down. Tyler Bird helped Jess bring him down from behind. But on the number, Ethan Clark gets 12 yards and moves the change of the tough run to the outside. He's kind of just doing it himself right now.
Yeah, they're pretty much just completely relying on him. 3rd and 12 behind the chains, still electing to keep it on the ground, and it pays off. Clark able to cut it upfield and get just enough for the first down, and bringing in some more power along that offensive line and just completely trying to create something right now.
A statement there that they're already working into 4-down territory. This time Stevens, the offset receiver, all alone out wide to the right side. Wing back off the right side, loaded up shotgun formation. Snap to Kosak, straight drop to pass. High pass, right side, looking for Stevens. Jump grab, caught, 35-yard line, down he goes, over top of Jimmy Floyd. First down, Caledonia. What a grab by Stevens, the 3-star junior wideout, elevating, making the grab and moving Clarkston in the Caledonia territory up to the 35-yard line.
Haven't seen him really go Stevens' way at all, as they've pretty much been completely on the ground, but just throwing a jump ball up for Stevens to go and get it, and he does so.
Same loaded up look, single receiver from the gun. Wing moves across the line, snapping a give to Clark. He'll angle it left side, cutting it up, blown up at the 35-yard line, right back at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. Jet King, Theron Sanders level him. 2nd and 10 coming on up right here.
Those off-tackle runs where Clark just trying to find an opening, waiting for the blocks to develop, and then somewhere where he can get some positive momentum, but the Caledonia defense continues to shut that down, either behind the line of scrimmage or right at it.
Now to the left hash, they go back to work. Lucas Bowman, the freshman, is the wingback, offset to the right side of the line right here. Tailback offset left, hip is Clark. Kosak, the senior, in at quarterback. Snap to Kosak, drop to pass, clutches, fires right side into double coverage, looking for Stevens. Jump ball, grab made down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Elevates over a pair of Caledonia defenders, hauls it in, first down. This is similar to what Grand Ledge did last week with their big targets like Stevens, able to elevate it, get it over top of some smaller defenders, and right now the jump ball is to Stevens, moving the ball down the field for Clarkston. 3:45 and less to go third quarter, 21-0 Caledonia, but the Wolves have got it up to the 17-yard line. Stevens takes a seat, Church comes in, back single wide receiver look from the gun. Snap high to Kosak at the helmet. Settle down. Give it on to Clark. Tough run up the middle. Twisted down by Engelberg and Ibar. Just inside the 15 to the 14-yard line for a gain of 3 or 4 on first down. 3:20 and less to go third quarter. Well, it's been a little surprising the way they've moved the ball this drive, but it's worked, and now it will remain Church, not Stevens, on the field.
Finally deciding that if they're going to get some big shots down the field, they're just going to throw it up to their big-time receiver on the outside, take the top off the defense, and now open up the run game in the red zone for Clark.
Again, single receiver, twin tight ends, and a wing back out there. Snap, give to Clark. He'll angle left side over the 15-yard line. Made a man miss. High stepping inside the 10, drives down to the 5-yard line. Tackle made by Heron, but a late penalty marker is thrown into the backfield hard as well. We'll have to wait and see what this call is, and if it's coming on back, I believe it will be.
I think a hold along the left side of the offensive line where Clark was trying to run. I think this one's going to come back.
It is right where he was able, like you said, to kind of turn that ball up the field. That's where the hold is made, and they were going to have a first and goal or right around a first and goal, and instead this ball now coming back. Clarkston has shown some issues when they've lost some of the yardage on drives inside down the field, and they've had the yardage taken away and have been forced into second and third and long type situations. They'll have that one more time right here coming on up. Still going to be about a second and medium, though. It'll be 2nd and 6 from it will be 2nd and 17 from the 25-yard line after the holds. Yes, 2nd and very long, 2nd and 17 from the 25-yard line. 2.5 to go in the third. 21-0 Caledonia. Church, single receiver in motion across the line. They give it to him on the end around. Cuts it up at the 25-yard line. Bottled up by Theron Sanders at the 23. And it's third down and very long right here. Interesting play call to the end around. And once again, Caledonia has the end around red. That time, Theron Sanders, the big stop.
Yeah, they like to do that, bring some guys in motion. They'll mix it up, whether that's Clark lining up on the outside or Church. They mix up who they bring in motion, and sometimes they give it to him, sometimes they don't. That time, electing to give Church the carry around the outside, but the Caledonia defense responds again out along the perimeter, making a big tackle.
21-0 Caledonia, 3:14 to go. Ball up to the Caledonia, 3rd and 14 to go here in the third quarter. From the 22-yard line, high snap over the helmet of Kosak. He'll settle it down. He'll clutch. He'll fire. Looking for the end zone. Broken up. A heavy collision between a trio of players at the goal line. Intended target was the junior tight end, Brady Cosen. He took the biggest of the hit right there as Brock Townsend was going for the INT. It's now 4th down and 14.
Yeah, I think Cosen was open if the throw is not lofted as much in there. If you kind of just hit him right on the body, of course, that's easier said than done, thrown against the wind, but collision between Townsend and Vogler. I think either one of them had the shot at the interception, but they ended up colliding and kind of taking each other out of the picture for the interception. Still got the pass breakup, though.
All right, Clarkston, 4th and 14 from the Caledonia 22-yard line. They spread the field, 5 wide, empty backfield. Kosak from the shotgun, 1:40 to go, third quarter. Snap to Kosak, chest high, dropped a pass, pressure coming, sacked. Jackson Engelberg busting through, leveling the backup senior quarterback, and Caledonia takes the football back over. Another turnover on downs deep into Caledonia territory. 1:36 in the third quarter. Scott football up 3 scores.
Yeah, well, the Caledonia defense, knowing Clarkston has to take a shot down the field, trying to convert on that 4th and very long. Engelberg not allowing time, though, in the pocket. He immediately busts through, able to make the tackle. And a big sack there gets Caledonia the football right back.
All right, a chance for Caledonia to score and also take some time off the clock and all but put this one away right here. They start at their own 30-yard line, right hash mark. They go split back, shotgun formation. Townsend, Heron both offset to either hip of Mason McKenzie. Pennington the wing back. Give up the gut to Townsend, pushing in the back of his offensive line and dives over the 30 to the 32-yard line for a gain of 2 right into the tackling pile. So gain of 2 on first down. And now, for Coach Pennington, like I said, take time off the clock, put points on the board, and you're on your way to Ford Field.
Yeah, in a pretty good position for Caledonia right now. Continue to run their offense. It's pretty much what they need right now is what they've been doing all game long, so continue to stick to it here as you approach the fourth quarter.
Heron goes back to the sideline, so they'll go back to the 3 wide receiver look right here. 1:05 and less to go in the third quarter. Caledonia leading 21-0 over Clarkston. 2nd and 8 for the Scots from their own 32-yard line. 2 receivers go left side right here. They isolate Graham right, low snap, fake handoff, read option keeper, up the gut, McKenzie. Starter steps over the 35, breaking through a tackle past the 40, and dives inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. Jarvis the tackle. What a run by Mason McKenzie. Bottled up on more than one occasion, but he moves the chains into Wolf territory. Final 40 seconds of the third quarter coming on up.
A couple defenders and the second level could have had a chance at bringing McKenzie down, but they were wrapped around the football trying to break it free. McKenzie not having any of that, able to break free, holds on, gets both hands on the football, maintains possession, and then breaks it for even more yardage.
Even lost his hand warmer in the midst of things right there. He's got to get that reset on his body as he gets ready to lead this offense back out. Final 17 seconds. He turns to the official, still holding the hand warmer. Now he'll flick it behind him and get ready to go to work. 3 wide receiver look. 1st and 10 from the 48. Give up the gut to Townsend. Cuts it left side. Big burst of speed and upended over the 45 to the 44-yard line. Desmond Stevens the stop as the third quarter comes to a close. So, big run from Townsend to finish off the quarter. A big hit. We go to the final frame. 21-0 Caledonia from DeWitt. We'll be right back here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and the MGN Road to Ford Field.
167 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders of freedom. And to think, he only let me drive it once. I've never considered myself to be a lucky man. That would be Dad. He didn't know a thing about cars, couldn't tell a hatchback from a quarterback. But somehow his just kept going, and going, and going, and going. Turns out Dad wasn't lucky. He just knew where to look.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All right, welcome back to DeWitt. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. Final quarter of this one. The MGN Road to Ford Field presented by the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities. 2nd and 6 for Caledonia, up to the Clarkston 44-yard line. They lead it 21-0 as we go to the final frame, and they're driving in the home steel gray uniforms. 3 wide receiver set. Graham isolated right side. Justice Reed in motion. They give it to him left to right on the end around, blown up at the line of scrimmage by Desmond Stevens. Again, Stevens off the edge. The outside linebacker makes the stop. It'll be 3rd down and medium right here. Again, they gave him 1 yard up to the 43-yard line, so 3rd and 5 for Caledonia coming up. They've been very effective, CT, on 3rd down runs, though.
They have, and continue to stay true to running the football, even on some tougher situations and 3rd downs backed up, and they've converted on it. Again, here, just a gain of 1 on 2nd down, but in a good spot here, even if they're not picking it up on the ground on 3rd down, can go right back to it on 4th.
Pennington, the wing off the right side of the line. 3 receiver set on 3rd and 5. Snap to McKenzie. Fake handoff, blown up at the 50-yard line. Desmond Stevens levels the senior quarterback, McKenzie, in the backfield. It's 4th down and long.
Yeah, and that thing make things a lot more interesting now as loss there puts it almost the 4th and 9 is what it's going to end up being. And now it looks like Caledonia going to be forced to punt the football away. I was thinking even if they got stopped at the line of scrimmage, there's a good chance the Scots go for it on 4th down. But the big loss in the backfield there now going to get Clarkston the football back.
There was no hesitation from Coach Pennington to bring Vogler and the punt unit out. Stevens backs inside his own 20 to receive this one. Low snap at the waist taken by Vogler. He got a low twister that kind of came off and shanked off his foot. I don't know if there's even some contact with that football. It angles out of bounds around the 40-yard line, and Clarkston gets good right around midfield position to start out this drive. They're down 3 scores, Chandler, 10:38 to go. They've driven down into enemy territory. The Wolves have a couple of times. They just have not been able to execute at the end. They're going to have to find a way to do so right here.
The defense making a stand there. Big play on 3rd down, gets in the ball back, and then a punt, really only netting 5 to 10 yards there, hardly at all. And so now some better starting field position to try to make a run at it.
All right, they go back to work out of the same look. They're going 2 tight end, wing back, and a single wide receiver from the shotgun. Bowman in motion across the line. Handoff Left side to Ethan Clark at the 40-yard line, running to the sideline. Brought down in the backfield at the 40. Guess who? Reed Vogler again with a multi-yard stop in the backfield to the 41-yard line.
Vogler's been impressive. You knew he could play in the secondary. He's made some interceptions throughout the course of the season, seen him make some plays in coverage, but the way he's came up and played in the run game and the run support here today has been truly impressive.
10-12 and less to go. Final frame, 21-0 Caledonia with a 2nd and 12 coming up here for Clarkston. They'll spread the field 5 wide, empty backfield from the gun for Stephen Kosak. 3 down front for Caledonia, standing edge rusher is Pennington. Snap to Kosak. Low at the knee, settle down, straight drop to pass, pressure coming, dumps it over the middle, caught by the leaping tight end over the 50-yard line, and driving ahead is Brody Kosen to the 45 on the other side. He'll get the first down through a big hit. So first down, Clarkston on the throw over the middle. Family Fare Tailgate Special of the Week is the best price in town on turkeys at Family Fare for only 53 cents per pound. Check out all the specials at shopfamilyfare.com. Back to work, empty backfield, 5-receiver set with trips right. 1st and 10, Caledonia 45-yard line. Clark in motion. They hand it to him, going straight up the gut, leveled at the line of scrimmage. Derek Pennington Jr. blowing that play up. 2nd down and 10. What a hit.
There's been a couple hits these last couple plays where some serious physical tackles being made both sides. That time Pennington able to come up and deliver a big hit on Clark right at the line.
It is a cold day to be delivering or taking hits like that. 2nd and 10, Clarkston from the Caledonia 45-yard line. We tick under 9 minutes to go. Final frame, 21-0 Caledonia. Again, Kosak will spread the field 5 wide. It's Clark in the left slot. They motion Clark across the line. They give it to him on the end around. Double end around give to the second man coming through the slot back, Cole Church. He's blown up deep back into enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Derek Pennington Jr., Theron Sanders helping bring him down in the backfield. They try to go double reverse and tricky, and they wind up losing 10-plus yards on the play.
This has been Derek Pennington's couple plays right here. He's making a defensive stand almost by himself, making a big play on the running back right at the line of scrimmage, and then seeing that reverse the whole way, able to stand there and was just waiting for the handoff to come right back to him before leveling another hit.
3rd and 17 for Clarkston, back to their own 48-yard line. Down 3 scores, 8 minutes to go. Kosak from the shotgun. Snap to Kosak, high at the helmet. He'll drop the pass. Pressure coming from King. He got it away. Deep throw over the middle. High grab made. Intercepted. Brock Townsend, 20-yard line. Caledonia football. Brock Townsend elevates, picks it off, and the Scots take over with 8 minutes to go in a 3-score lead.
Scott's secondary has been close a couple times. Both Townsend, Vogler, even Ibar along the defensive line earlier had a shot at getting that interception, but this time Townsend able to go up, high point it. As the throw overthrown into the wind, or with the wind this time, so overthrown a little bit, and Townsend able to go up and get it.
All right, Caledonia goes to work from their own 20-yard line. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame have remembered some of the greatest Grand Rapids sporting events and athletes from the past 50 years, and you've helped vote on favorites and online polls. This fun trip down memory lane will culminate on December 16 at Van Andel Arena during the Grand Rapids Griffins game, as we will reveal our winners and celebrate 50 years of Grand Rapids best sports. Join the Hall of Fame celebration during this special night of hockey. Caledonia goes to work. 8 minutes to go in the football game, leading 21-0 from their own 20-yard line. Split back shotgun formation. Give to Blake Heron up the gut. Gets over the 20 to the 21 and got blown up there as he tries to turn it upfield by Nick Wysenko on the tackle after a gain of a couple. 7:50 and less to go. Dighton also credited the tackle, and it's a gain of 2 yards to the 22.
Heron slowing down a little bit here in the second half. 2 carries since halftime. I think can continue going to be a factor here as the Scots trying to run this clock down, going to continue to utilize Townsend, McKenzie, and Heron to run the clock the rest of the way down with a 3-score lead.
McKenzie races in from the sideline with a call. 7:20 and less to go in the final frame. 21-0 Caledonia. They've got a 2nd and 8 from their own 22. 2 wide receiver set. Graham and Reed, the receivers. Split back formation out of the shotgun. Give to Townsend, chopping up over the 25 and dives to the 27-yard line into a trio and more of tacklers. Jarvis and Smackham among more, standing over top of them. 3rd down and short as we tick under 7 minutes to go in the final frame. Still 21-0 Caledonia. Scots have got to get 3 right here. They've been so effective, like we highlighted a moment ago, though, all game long on 3rd down. McKenzie, number 10 in gray, in from the sideline with the call. Scouts will break it out. We go under 6:40 to go. They're taking their time in between each of these plays. Back to a wing back off the left side. 2 wide receiver sets. Split back shotgun formation. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend left side. Cuts it up over the 25 and laid out right back at the line of scrimmage by a trio of tacklers. That makes it 4th down and even a loss of a couple yards. 4th and 5 back to the 25-yard line. They don't get anywhere, and we'll have to see Caledonia punt this ball away under 6 minutes to go.
The Clarkston defense now making back-to-back stops. They seem to have found the answer to slow down Caledonia's offensive attack a little bit now. Now it's just a matter of if they're going to be able to get anything going offensively and if it's going to be enough with the clock running out.
Fast-moving football game in this one, 21-0 Caledonia. Under 5:50 to go in the final frame. Luke Vogler stands at his own 11. He'll jump to the right as it was a snap kind of out of the way. Got a tumbling punt away that bounces angling straight out of bounds up the left side at the plus 48-yard line. So Clarkston gets Caledonia enemy field position to start this drive. The mark is either the 47 or 48. It will be the 48-yard line officially, and they'll get ready to go to work. But do we potentially have a penalty marker down on the field? Looks like both teams are kind of pointing at each other before this next play as the officials are having a word as well.
Yeah, it does look like there is a penalty flag kind of away from where the punt was and away from the line as well. So wait and see as the official is going to discuss this one. And for right now, both special team units kind of remaining on the field and along the sideline.
It looks like actually that might be the Caledonia defense that are starting to find their way onto the field right now. It is a personal foul penalty on Clarkston. I did not see what happened at the end of that play right there, but that's going to take yardage away from Clarkston and move the Wolves on the dead ball foul back onto their own side of the field right here. So 5:42 to go, 21-0 Caledonia, and Clarkston getting ready to take back over. The officials still discussing right now where this ball is going to get placed. Michigan Sports Academies has tons of winter programming for your athlete. Whether you're looking for a weekly winter clinic or to get active over the winter break, they have it. Programming available in Grand Rapids, Norton Shores, and Holland. Come experience their quality training in top-notch facilities. Their sports include volleyball, basketball, soccer, and lacrosse. Check out MichiganSportsAcademies.com for more information. Clarkston goes to work. Empty backfield, 5-receiver set for Stephen Kosak. From their own 37-yard line after the penalty down 21-0. Snap to Kozak. Settles the ball in his hands. Throws one deep over the middle. Leaping interception. Brock Townsend again at the 40. He'll return it over the 50. Angles right side 45. Outside the numbers 40 and walks out of bounds to the 38. Another pick for Townsend, and that should put it away. 5.5 to go. 21-0 Caledonia. The Scots are just about on their way to Ford Field.
Townsend making another play, and both teams have been hesitant to go to the air, and you can see why right there is another throw down the field, not quite where he wanted it to be. Townsend able to go up and get it, and just those shots down the field, difficult when the wind is blowing so strong. You have an idea and an intention of where you want it to go, and the ball ends up floating other places. Have been avoiding that shot down the field, but now back-to-back interceptions.
Yeah, Kozak, the junior backup quarterback, he's gotten so much play the last couple weeks and forced to throw his team back into this one. He struggled against this terrific secondary for Caledonia that has come up making big plays in the run game and now the pass game as well. 5.5 to go, starting at the plus 38-yard line. Split back shotgun. Give to Heron up the gut, stutter step ahead to the 35-yard line. Ball came squirting free at the end, and Clarkston says that they fell on it. Desmond Stevens has the ball, and he does have it. So, fumble from Heron, and Clarkston takes the ball right back over one play later, so maybe negate that interception as well. 1st and 10 from their own 35, coming up for the Wolves, down 21-0.
Yeah, not too much time for Caledonia to panic just yet, but they've had a couple opportunities now to put the final nail in the coffin, and they continue to give Clarkston just a little bit of hope here, whether that was punting the ball away on their previous possession, now a turnover after getting a couple interceptions of their own. Clarkston going to get one more shot at it.
All right, Kosak, the junior. Again, backup quarterback. He had the big moments last week. He's been forced to take over again today. They go back to the single wide receiver, loaded up shotgun. Wing back off the right side of the line. Tailback is Ethan Clark from their own 35. Give to Clark. He'll angle it right side. Turns it up at the 35-yard line and lowers the head ahead to the 39 for a gain of 4 on 1st down. Heron, the tackle on the outside. 2nd and 6 from the 39. Clarkston, of course, works quickly. Right hash mark. Receiver Church goes out wide to the left. Give again to Clark. He'll angle it left side. Cuts it up over the 40 and shoestring tackle from behind by Jackson Engelberg to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 right here. Based on the mark, they'll even give him a 3rd and 4. Gain of 2. 3rd and 4, 41-yard line. New unit working out there quickly. Kosak will work from the shotgun. 4 wide receiver look. Clark offset to his left hip right here. Ball on the left hash mark. 4.5 to go. 21-0 Caledonia. Clarkston driving from their own 41-yard line. They spread the field. Caledonia shows some pressure. Church in motion left to right. They give it to him on a fake end around, or they fake it to him on the end around. Back to pass. Kosak fires deep right side. Leaping attempt for the ball. Broken up at the 35-yard line. It almost looked like Jimmy Floyd. He does have the ball. Intercepted Jimmy Floyd at the 25-yard line, and the ball goes back the other way one more time. A massive bodies over that one. Floyd somehow able to come out of it. 3 straight picks from this Caledonia defense, and now the Scots can try to put it away.
I mean, Floyd was going up for it, and I think where it originally hit his hands, he bobbled it and almost recaught it the second try as he fell to the ground. It was just a matter of if the ball had hit the ground in between, and the official right over there deeming that it was a catch and an interception. So Caledonia getting the ball back, and another interception, another turnover.
All right, Caledonia from their own 25-yard line take back over. 4:21 to go, final frame. That 3-score lead. They'll go 3 wide receiver set. Wingback Pennington off the left side of the line. The tailback Townsend the right hip of McKenzie. Snap to McKenzie. Fake handoff. Read option keeper. Up the middle. Burst to speed. Angles right at the 35-yard line. Right up the middle of the field. 45, 50. And he's shoestring tackle to the 45-yard line. Nearly had a chance to break that one for another touchdown. Colin Cortman, the junior safety, just got a piece of McKenzie to bring him down at the 45. First down, Caledonia. By the time they snap this, we'll be inside 4 minutes to go.
Clarkston defense have been stopping McKenzie in the backfield a couple times, crashing hard. Those defensive ends able to make some big hits in the backfield to stop McKenzie, but that time able to break through the line of scrimmage and flip the field for Caledonia.
All right, timeout on the field. 4:05 to go. 21-0. Caledonia will be right back here from DeWitt late in this state semifinal.
To replace that worn-out carpet or floor, Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio. 4:05 to go out of the timeout. 21-0 Caledonia, and CT, the Scots have got up to the 45-yard line. And right now it's just as much about taking time off the clock as it is putting another score on the board, but they have just about got this thing put away, and the Scots are going to be on their way to Ford Field for the first time in, nearly 20 years.
Yeah, it's been an impressive performance from Caledonia here. Now looking just to wrap things up. They've had a couple opportunities with the offense on the field to try to put together a drive and eat at that clock, and haven't been able to do so. The defense has responded and continues to make some stops, but just looking for the offense to pick up a couple first downs.
3 receiver shotgun snap. Sanders, the wingback, moves across the line. Snap to McKenzie, straight quarterback power. He'll drag it over the left side back to the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line, where he was engulfed trying to turn the corner by Kavanaugh Dighton. That makes it 2nd and 10 right back to the 45-yard line. 4:05 to go. 21-0. Caledonia. Both teams decide. Looks like we've got another timeout on the field right here. We'll stay with you through this timeout. CT, all right, what a performance, though, by Caledonia. Just need to find a way to take some time off the clock and put it away, and now your opponent only has 1 timeout left as well.
Yeah, if nothing else, at this point, have now had a couple runs and been able to pick up a first down to the point where you're eating at the timeouts for Clarkston and taking away the possibility that they're able to do anything if they do get the football back. But after a stop of no gain there on first down, looking to try to pick up some more yardage here. Already on the other side of the 50-yard line, have been able to flip the field on a long run by McKenzie, puts them in a better spot.
It's not been a game where we've seen Caledonia get those big breakout running plays that we are so accustomed to seeing them be able to have up their sleeves. They've had to find a way to grind a little bit, and they have been able to do just that. I mean, a Clarkston defense that has struggled, again, that they've given up 30 points per game on the year. It's kind of the game script in this cold day to run heavy-type teams, a little bit of what you could expect. Caledonia 2nd and 10 from the Clarkston 45-yard line. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go, fourth quarter, 21-0 Caledonia lead. McKenzie, end around, give on to the charging Theron Sanders. He'll drag it over the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Smack of the tackle from behind. They're on that kind of little unique end-around wing-back play on the give with also a fake give built into the tailback, and they find good yardage, 3rd down and 2 from the 37 coming up.
Yeah, ran that play earlier in the game for just a gain of 1. That time much more successful. Gets them 8 and then much more closer to trying to convert on this 3rd down.
All right, Clarkston calls the final timeout right here, so the clock will be running at full after this, but Clarkston first off going to try to get a stop to try to keep this game alive, the season alive for the Wolves. But a statement has been continuously made by Caledonia in this one. The West Side going to get a D1 team back in the state championship game for the first time in a while, quite frankly, as well. It's been a while since the Grand Rapids area had one of their teams in the Division I state championship game. And it kind of felt all year like it was going to be Rockford or it was going to be Caledonia, that we're going to probably have a chance to find their way into this game. That's kind of exactly what we have potentially seen right here. 3rd and 2, Caledonia up to the Clarkston 37-yard line. They lead 21-0 with 3:57 to go in the fourth. They go 3-receiver set. Graham isolates out wide to the left side. Check it, that's DeHorn all alone out wide to the left side. Fake handoff. McKenzie keeper up the gut. He's got the 35. He's got the first down where he charged into a tackling pile led by Dighton. And back right on the number. That'll move the chains at the 35 officially. And the Scots will be able to run the clock on down even more here. 3:49 and less to go. Final frame. 21-0 Caledonia. Physical, tough, mean, cold. It was exactly what we kind of expected tonight.
It was, and Caledonia definitely able to play into it, and on 3rd down there when you need it, going right to your star quarterback, keeping it all the way. I think he was on that one. Able to power forward, got very close. It was going to be dependent on the spot, but able to get to the 35 and officially a first down.
Back to the 3-receiver look from the right hash marker, just inside the right hash mark. Isolated receiver, Graham to the right side, wing to the right side. That's Pennington. Townsend offset, right hip just behind McKenzie. Snapping a give to Townsend. Stutter step right back to the line of scrimmage and blown up at the 35-yard line with nowhere to go. Tackle again made by Brady Beck, the sophomore strong safety. Both teams run sophomore strong safeties, and a very, very late penalty flag is thrown on as well. So this comes from well after the play was already done. Came initially from the direction of the Caledonia sideline. We'll have to wait and see what this one is. As, by the way, the wind and the snow starting to pick up late as well. Down to 3:05 the remaining.
Yeah, it looked like Jalen Wilson, the cornerback for Clarkston, and Evan Graham, the receiver for Caledonia, were talking after that play.
And it will be offsetting personal fouls on that one. So, right back to where we were. 3:06 to go from the 35-yard line. Into enemy territory for Clarkston with a 21-0 lead. Mason McKenzie walking in from the sideline with a call from Coach Pennington. It's getting colder. It's getting windier. The snow started to pick up at the end of this one as well. 3:01 to go. 2nd and 10. Caledonia looking to ice this one away as we tick under 3 minutes remaining. McKenzie from the short shotgun. Make it a pistol formation here. 3 wide receiver set. Wing back off the left side. That's Pennington. Snow coming down even harder right now. Clarkston showing some pressure. McKenzie just looking at it, letting the clock run on down. Snap to the senior, give to the junior Townsend. Big hole up the gut, pushing a pile over the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Smack on the tackle for Clarkston. That's just short of the first down. 3rd and 3 from the 28-yard line. A pretty perfectly executed final drive by Caledonia right now to try to put this one away. We go under 2:18 to go in the fourth quarter. 21-0 Caledonia. The Scots are forward field bound in just a little over 2 minutes.
Yeah, some tremendous players on that Clarkston defense. You've talked about some of the linebackers, and Dighton and Smaka both made a lot of plays here today, but the rushing attack for Caledonia has been too much for even some talented players like that to make a stop.
3 receiver shotgun set. Fake handoff, read option keeper. First down, McKenzie breaking over the 20 and tugged down from behind by Jarvis to the 14-yard line. 1st and 10, final 1:47. They can run the clock out. Mason McKenzie's hurt. McKenzie, issues with his right leg that has bothered him all playoffs, all season long, really since the midway part. He's barely able to hobble on one leg to the sideline, and down he goes. McKenzie in writhing pain on the sideline, getting looked at by the trainers. Jet King in for him. So Caledonia, the high of being on your way to the state championship, and now your Mr. Football front-runner quarterback down on the sideline, hurt. He's been fighting that same leg injury all season long, and it flares up one more time. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. King give to Heron up the gut. He'll drive down to the 11-yard line. What a moment. He can't put any pressure on his leg. He's getting complete help. No pressure on the right leg on the sideline for Mason McKenzie. Heikkinen on the tackle, 2nd and 9. So the final minute going to run off in this game, but that is as quiet of a winning sideline and cheering section as you are ever going to see right now for the Fighting Scots, because McKenzie is in deep pain and deep trouble on the sideline.
Yeah, I think most of the fans in the stands here for Caledonia more are watching Mason McKenzie on the sideline than this game as it's being wrapped up, but just trying to get to the end of this one and see what McKenzie's status is.
Low snap to King. He'll kneel it, and that'll just about do it. Caledonia crowd now comes to their feet. They'll run back to their own sideline, but the attention late in this one goes to Mason McKenzie, but don't let that take away. For the first time, like I said, it's been nearly 20 years. It's been a long time since we've even seen a West Side D1 team find their way to the state championship game. The Caledonia Fighting Scots take down Clarkston, and the Scots are Ford Field bound. They meet at center field for the handshake line CT. Again, a lot of talking points surrounding Mason McKenzie right now, but first off, as we welcome you in to our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show, the talking points have to be Caledonia. 21-0 shutout of one of the best running games in the state. That's the first talking point today for the Scots.
Yeah, I think we've seen them win some games a couple different ways. We've seen them win some high-scoring shootouts. We've seen them slow down some high air raid passing attacks, and now stopping one of the best running backs and one of the best running teams in the state as well. So kind of continuing to find ways to win, but dominating and doing so.
All right, a lot to break down here on the Scott Bates Agency post-game show, so don't go anywhere. 21-0, Caledonia. Ford Field bound. We'll be there next week with them as they take on Belleville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
In 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. 21-0 Caledonia, Ford Field bound. They dominate Clarkston in a physical game, start to finish in this game. Scoring recap, long one. Second half is 14-0 at the half. We had one score with 7:32 to go in the third quarter. McKenzie found Pennington from 17 yards out. Vogler added the extra point. 21-0. That's your final score, CT. Take us through some stats, because that's where you actually can learn the story from this one.
Yeah, a little bit more to talk about here and then all the numbers. Clarkston will start on that side. Kosak did have 3 completions in the second half for 54 yards. It was mostly Ethan Clark show. He had over 20 carries for 128 yards. Not much outside of that. A couple completions down the field. Stevens had a couple catches in the second half for 40 yards. Cosin 1 for 14. Other than that, not a single rusher recording over 10 rushing yards. So mostly just Clark for Clarkston. On the Caledonia side, Mason McKenzie, 19 passing yards and a touchdown to go along with 109 rushing yards. Did get over 100 there on that last rush that ended up potentially being injured, but well, I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
You think?
Townsend, 58 rushing yards. Heron, 87, most of which came in the first half. Sanders had a couple carries for 9 yards. Reed had 1 carry for 1 yard. Pennington with a 17-yard touchdown reception, and Graham for 1 reception, 2 yards.
You said it. I mean, dominant performance. We talked about the defense, but, that is probably the most subdued celebration I've seen. Caledonia, they ran. They had a little bit of a snowball fight in one end zone as the snow is starting to really pick up here at DeWitt as well. But the sideline and everyone, a little bit of a subdued type celebration compared to what you might expect because, we've seen McKenzie battle this lower right leg injury all season long. He injured it first against Granville. We saw him beat it up again last game, kind of all year long. He's had issues with it, and this seemed to be the most serious he's probably had with it all year, the kind of help that he needed. You just have to hope if you're Caledonia, really if you just want good football in general, that he's ready to go for next week because the loss of Mason McKenzie, we've seen this offense when he hasn't been in there. It's a completely different offensive attack right now. He's that dynamic. He changes the game that much. We saw it from him in this game, of course, the plays he made, even the play he got hurt on. You saw the dynamic kind of play he could make. So that is definitely a concern right now for Caledonia, even though they're on their way to Ford Field.
Yeah, I think did see him walking down after through the handshake line, putting a little bit more pressure on it. Looked like, hopefully it's just something that was flaring up on him and just, it's awkward landing or stretch. Very hard to tell, but something that he can hopefully potentially manage. Looks like he's been doing that most of the playoffs. So for Caledonia's sake, they're hoping that's something you give him some time off here during the week and you can tape it up and give him one more game and get him back out there. It's something where it's so tough, and looking back, if that is something where the injury flared up that where you're running Mason McKenzie late in the game, but when you've got the game in hand, but at the same time, he's your star quarterback and you need to put the game away, so it's impossible to look back at it like that. But I'm sure if there's any possibility of Mason McKenzie being in that game, he's going to be ready to go.
Absolutely. All right, one more break. When we come back here on the Bates Agency post-game show, Lakeshore Sewing threatening to do a play of the game. Centennial Security's player of the game. We'll wrap it up with our awards. Congrats, Caledonia. They're Ford Field bound. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
All right, welcome back. Scott Bates, Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show, 21-0, Caledonia over Clarkston. The Scots are Ford Field bound. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. All right, CT, let's hand out some awards to start. with our Lakeshore Sewing Threading the Needle play of the game. A couple different options to go, but we'll go the one that kind of put the game away. The only score of the second half, Mason McKenzie to Derek Pennington, a 17-yard passing strike, one of only 2 completions for the Scots today, and this was their big one as they threw for, a total of 19 yards. So this was the big one through the air today, and it was Pennington ranging wide open and putting the game away.
Yeah, kind of set the tone for the second half, extended the Caledonia lead, and set them up for what the offense was going to be able to do and hold on to that lead late in the second half. We've seen a couple times where able to get Pennington, especially in the red zone area when the field kind of shrinks down. You're looking for some size to get him involved and float up, let him go get it. He was pretty open regardless, but able to still get in the end zone and add to the lead there.
Second straight game that Derek Pennington Sr. has schemed his son wide open for a touchdown. Did it last week against Grand Ledge as well. All right, Centennial Securities player of the game. Plenty of options, of course, as you said. McKenzie goes over 100 yards. The leading running back rusher was Heron with 87. But we're going to go the guy that's actually the third leading rusher, Brock Townsend. Had a touchdown, had 2 INTs as well.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice, and when you factor in the plays that he made on the defensive side of the ball, still very involved offensively, had a good day, got in the end zone, and then those couple plays late in the second half to kind of help seal the game and get some stops and with the shutout defensively.
All right, Caledonia, Ford Field bound, 21-0. They take down Clarkston in this one. For Chandler Timmer, everyone at Michigan Game Night, Michigan Sports Radio, I am Nate Dreyer. We'll see everyone next week, 12:30 is the planned time on air. The kickoff is 1 o'clock from Ford Field. We'll have the coverage. Belleville, Caledonia, the big school, the D1 state championship game. Tune in next week right here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. We'll have it. Congrats to the Scots. They're moving on. We'll see you all next week at Ford Field.